Yo, what's up? Eat raw meats, you made it. What's up, Chris Parks? Tumble Bear? What's up, Brandon White? How you guys doing? Long time no see. Got some good stuff today. Got some goodies for supper. Got some Wagyu. See all that insane marbling there? Can't believe I didn't know about this guy before. I think it was frozen before, but I'm gonna try to get my hands on some fresh next time. But so far, so good, man. Pretty good stuff. What's up, Wolf Shange? Brandon White says, "How you been?" I've been good, man. I've been real good. I've been figuring out all sorts of stuff today, man. I just been having fun. For anybody that's subscribed to my Instagram, you should check that out because I post a lot of pictures on there that, it's a little easier to post pictures than make videos of certain stuff. It's a lot quicker. So it's a little bit of a different twist on my Instagram there. But there's some cool stuff on there. So I figured out how to carve up some pork and bought a sawzall to help out my butchering process. And then I also figured out how to cut a marrow bone in half today, which was pretty cool. But I only figured out how to cut it in half, what would you call that? Not lengthwise, but widthwise. But I need to get like a clamp or a table saw or something to be able to cut the marrow bones lengthwise. But it really doesn't matter. If I can just cut it in half, it's a little easier to scoop it out. But I was pretty fired up about that because I've always kind of wanted to be able to cut open bones, and get the marrow out. So this is a way to do it. You just get a vice grip and a sawzall, and you can just cut it right in half. You really don't even need the vice grip. You can just get a sawzall and cut it. Chris Parks, good thanks. Weston, good to see you again. Good to see you guys. Ricky Burger, yummy. What's up, Ricky? Good to see you. P. Miller, I started reading Fasting and Man's Correct Diet today. What do you think so far? Keep in mind it's an old book, and there's some stuff in there that may not be relevant, but there's a lot that's really mind-blowing, I thought, They love their enemas in that book, which that was like the weirdest thing about that book is there was so much, as Owen Benjamin would say, gravy in there, but there was a lot of like enema talk. So they were really obsessed with that stuff, especially when fasting. There may be something to that. I don't know. Aajonus always spoke against it. So, and it does seem kind of weird and unnatural. And like, you don't imagine yourself in a primitive setting, like squirting coffee up your butt. So it's like, but hey, if there was some sort of utility to it and they figured something out, you never know. I'm not going to do it though. Brandon White, today I ate predominantly butter and a bit of honey. That sounds good, man. Honey's great. Cryo, good evening. Tumble Bear, how many dollars do you spend per day on food? I've been cutting down quite a bit since I cut down my red meats by 1 pound. So that cut me down to about, let me think. If I had to guess, I'm probably right around 15 to 20 bucks a day or something like that. Because in the morning, I'm having these raw primal milkshakes, which is basically just a pint of milk, which is probably about, 75 cents. And then 2 egg yolks. So my breakfast is probably like a little over $1.50 or something. And then my lunch is cheese, pint of milk, and 3 eggs. So let's say if I spend $6 a dozen on eggs, 3 eggs would be, what, $2 or $1.50, and then the pint of milk would be another $1.50. So maybe $3 for lunch, $4 for lunch with the cheese. So with breakfast and lunch, I'm looking probably about $5 or $6. And then dinner is where it gets a little expensive. So the beef typically can be anywhere from like $5 to $8 a pound. And then 3 eggs. So you're looking like $6, $7, $8 maybe. And then the marrow, I mean, it kind of just depends on what I'm eating. Dinner is probably $10. So yeah, I think I'm still only about like $15 a day now. But it gets a little crazy when I get into the wild caught salmon. So that's where the twist is right there, right? So we're just talking about beef right here, and with chicken it gets even less expensive. But basically when I put the fish in there, it gets nuts because fish is like $15 a pound, right? So that ups my meals by about $10 a day. So to answer your question, I spend about $15 a day on food to eat the best food in the world, keep in mind. And then when I eat fish, it's $25 a day. You know what I'm saying? So I guess you could say on average $20. And that's what I was spending on the standard American diet. You know, if you think about, you know, breakfast in the morning, even if it was just cereal and milk, you know, you're looking at a couple bucks. And then like if you go to lunch and then you buy yourself dinner, which I would always do, it would be like $8 a meal. So I spend the exact same amount that I spend on the standard diet. T. Muller, do you freeze your butter? How's going with the new milk? Yeah, I do freeze like half of my butter when I get too much of it, like this time. I've been cutting down on my butter big time too, so that's another thing that's helping me save money, because I realized I was eating way too much butter. And the other thing that's saving me money is getting this A1 milk. It's saving me like $30 in gas every 2 weeks, and it's saving me just tons of money. I did the math on it. It's like I'm saving like $80, $90 a month on milk right now. So I've definitely I've hit some breakthroughs on saving money on this diet. That's a big part of it too. Chris Parks, I really enjoy your live streams now. Your diet is really changing you. You seem so much more full of life these days. Thanks, man. I feel that as well. I feel it coming out from inside of me somewhere. It's bringing me back to life, man. It's reanimating me. Martin O'Donnell, good afternoon, Gamma Slayer. That's right. No gammas allowed. This is a gamma-free chat room, everybody. P. Miller, got raw blackberry honey at the farmer's market today. Dang, that sounds really good. Raw blackberry honey. What's all in that? Is that like where the bees get their pollen from, like blackberries or something? Or is it like blackberries mixed with the honey? Either way, it sounds really good. Eat raw meat. Black doggo ate the pig foot. Oh, man. Yeah, so just, it's been a wild week, man. Like, I got to butcher up these pigs, and I got to take like a whole quarter pig home. I didn't know what to do with it. I've never had anything like that. So I just sat it in my garage for like 3 days. Today, my boss was cool enough to give me like a boning knife for free. Those can be like $150. He just gave it to me. So I had this boning knife, and I watched him like skin the hog. So I spent like basically, my job's great, man. Like they basically just let me watch people cut pigs up all day. They just paid me to help them. So it was pretty cool. And it has nothing to do with our business. We just happened to have a place to do it. And so I got to watch everyone just cut these pigs up. And I had to clean it all up afterwards and stuff. But it was pretty cool. So I learned how to do it so I could do it in my garage. And then I got to skin the whole thing. And then I had to go buy a Sawzall to cut the leg off. But I got 2 pig's feet for my dogs. There's a picture on my Instagram of that. And they were chewing on those pig foot for like 8 hours straight. No joke. Like I must have got home at like 5 o'clock and gave it to them. And they were chewing it all through the middle of the night. Like I had to throw them outside because I was trying to sleep. And all I could hear was these pig feet banging against my wood floor. So they really loved them, man. But they ate everything on the pig foot, even the skin, the bone, the nails. They ate the whole leg. These dogs are little savages. Wolf Sanj, how old were the pigs you slaughtered? That's a good question, man. I have no clue. I have no clue. Ricky Burger, haha, you said my last name right this time. Burger like a hamburger. Thank you. I've been meaning to ask you because it can go either way. Awesome. Thanks for correcting me on that because I hate like butchering people's names like live on the internet. That sounds very German, I'm guessing. Wolf Sands, in my experience, older healthy animals taste much better. It tastes really good, man. And I know they were like 500 pounds, so they had plenty of time to put on weight. So who knows what they ate? I don't know. Pigs like eat everything. I heard they were eating like a lot of tomatoes, like they ate this whole tomato patch and stuff. So it was kind of a weird deal. Like my boss had somebody watching the pigs, and then the guy just like quit his job one day, and it was weird. He was staying at his farm as well, and he just left the pigs there. It was really bizarre, man. So they got really fat, too fat. P. Miller said it's definitely full of gravy. It is, man. That book is packed with gravy. Eat raw meat. Nice to see you sleep on a raised floor now. Just need the fur now to make it a perfect. Yes. Yeah, I need that fur. That's right. Dang, you're right, man. I missed that. Martin O'Donnell. I ate raw sockeye salmon that was frozen. I don't feel as good as compared to when I eat fresh lamb or beef. Yeah, me neither. Me neither, man. Yeah, fish is like definitely less satiating, but I can. You know what fish is definitely as satiating as beef is king salmon, man. I didn't do a live stream that night, but I ate some king salmon, and that shit, man, that's no joke. That's why they call it the king. That's why it's $25 a pound. Probably one of the best raw foods I've ever had is king salmon. Sam Will says, hello, I'm going through horrible detox. You'll make it, man. You'll make it. Bob says, do you get worms often? No. Worms? You don't get worms. You can't get worms from food, dude. If your stomach acid can digest and dissolve bones, what makes you think a worm would make it through your stomach acid? Wolf Sands, milkshakes save me every morning. I have to go to work. Oh yeah, I was trying to skip it. Like I was going for a week there. I skipped breakfast, and I believe I was trying to skip lunch too. That was no good. No good at all. If you're doing anything remotely on your feet during the day, you got to be eating, man. So I do not recommend one meal a day for doing anything on your feet all day. The raw milkshake is perfect in the morning, and then the lunch, my dairy lunch with some eggs is great. Samuel, been in bed for 10 days. I feel okay though. Never had the flu, like this flu before. Anyone experienced it too? Not 10 days. That sounds a little weird. My flus only last about, on this diet, about 1 to 2 max. T. Moeller, I feel it's weird to hear the word detox on the raw primal. It reminds me of vegans, but I know what you mean. Yeah. Oh, it's real, man. It's definitely real. The vegans take the detox thing way too hard. Or they just take it just way too far, I should say. Because they're constantly detoxing what they're eating. You know what I mean? Like, so they're just in this constant loop of detox. But on this diet, you see, it comes in little spells. You know what I mean? You're not constantly detoxing like these vegans. But when I first started this, I guess I should say over the last year and a half, I've had the flu or a cold or whatever you want to call it. But basically the flu. Like, I've had it to where I was like shaking and like hot spells, cold spells, just total flu-like stuff. But it only lasts 24 hours max. Like 24 hours, the next day it's over. So that's the cool thing about this diet. And who knows, I'll probably continue to have them, but I think it feels like they're happening less often now, for sure. Brandon White, for sure try other fish, and once you try fowl and we move into spring, you might not crave fish much anyway. Yeah, I got some chicken, pasture-raised chicken in the fridge, man, so hopefully, maybe tomorrow I'll do a stream. with some chicken. Aajonus says to praise colds because it means your body's fixing itself. Absolutely. Brandon White, all those savings are going to help you with getting the homestead started for sure. Absolutely, man. Definitely. Yeah, I definitely want at least chickens, which is like really very doable. And then it would be nice to get some fresh milk as well. So I think chickens and probably some goats is fairly doable and could be pretty cheap. It just depends on how far out of town you want to get. But like, I honestly don't give a shit about living far out of town. And if I got to drive 40 minutes to work every day, I really don't give a shit, man. If I'm getting to live in paradise, who cares? Well, there's so much land and stuff around here in Nebraska. Like, you know, everybody makes fun of it because it's just, when you drive through I-80, it's just flat and there's nothing. But, you know, you're not seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, you're blind if you're not seeing like the beauty of all of that open land and just available pasture. Bradley David Good, hello, raw animal eaters. Caleb, yo, the coronavirus is much worse than told. What do you mean by that? The coronavirus. Wolf's are you going to do the carpentry by yourself on the homestead? Oh, for sure, man. Yeah. I can do all my own mechanical work. I'll do all my own carpentry. I'll do all of the butchering. I'll do everything, man. I've got a lot of work experience. I've had over 30 jobs in my life, so I just got an insane amount of work experience, and so it'll go perfect on a farm, man. Brandon White, pork is amazing if it's good quality and it's white and red meat, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I keep hearing it's white and red meat. What does that exactly mean? That's very, very interesting, man. So it's got properties of both. Obviously, he doesn't mean the color. It's like you're talking about the contents of it, right? Caleb Hoying says the Chinese government is downplaying it massively. Dude, I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean by that, Caleb? You mean like people are like getting really sick? You know, it's funny, guys, the whole coronavirus. It's like coming from the place where everybody wears freaking mouth masks because it's so toxic you can't even breathe the air. And they want to convince you there's a magical virus doing it when it could be just the air pollution, you know? Wolf Shange, I'm going into trade school soon, have to decide between cabinet making, roof topping, and carpentry. Carpentry is a good bet, man, because everybody needs someone to work on their house. And plus, you'll be working, you know, inside a lot. Roof topping, you'll be outside, so you might have some weather issues there. Working inside is ideal when you're in like when you're in a place that has like heavy winters, you know. T. Miller, bones help the dogs clean their teeth, I believe. Sounds right. Michael Sutton, I never thought I'd be one of those red light guys, but I'm actually debating buying a red light. Do you know anything about it or where to get a good red light? I don't know much about that. I haven't looked into that, to the lights. I can tell you that this, whatever this thing is here, this winter light here, this thing works pretty good. It's just white light though. I don't know, is red light, would that be something natural? Is that a spectrum that naturally comes from the sun, or how does that work? Eat raw meat. Did you kill the pigs or only cut them up? Yeah, they came already killed. They were already killed and bled. Ricky Berger, no. German, Swiss, Danish, Norwegian, Swedish, and Irish. Nice. No Scandinavian in there? Well, I guess basically isn't that the same thing as, yeah, Danish, Norwegian, Swedish, yeah. That sounds real similar to me. P. Miller, a few days ago I drove 2 hours to a farm and got raw goat milk and Jersey milk. The goat milk is crazy good. It's good stuff, huh? Bradley David, I was doing about half raw animal products for about a month. Today is my first full day of all animal products. Feel great. Yeah, I bet. Caleb, it's weird. I feel better drinking raw milk from a mixed herd with Holsteins and Jerseys compared to pure Jersey milk. Helps my asthma symptoms more. Interesting. That makes sense. You're getting a little more of a diverse mix of nutrients or something. Eat raw meat. Vegans detox out their hair and teeth. Yeah, yeah, they detox. They detox their life away. P. Miller, I feel better drinking Jersey milk than Holstein. All right, so yeah, you guys remember when I asked Gatis what he thought about A1 versus A2 milk, and he said he digests A2 slightly better. He's right. He's definitely right. I digest A2 slightly better. So there's something to that, but I think people are just being either overly sensitive about it. They're either overreacting to it, or or they are overly sensitive to the milk or something. But because there's a small percentage of people that say, I don't digest A1 milk at all. I can't do it, or I can't do milk at all. Period. But I probably have a really healed gut at this point, so I know it's probably not my gut. Of course, you never know with all the chemicals we get. We could all still have perforated intestines or something. You never know, but until you do like an autopsy on somebody, you know what I'm saying? But we can only really speculate at this point, and that's something that I've learned in this diet, is that like as much as you think you know, the old saying goes, like the more you think you know, the less you know. The more you know, the less you know, basically. So I'm starting to realize that as like the more I sound more confident with what I say, it's like, well, you know what? How do I really know that until I like did an autopsy on them and looked at their body to see what was going on with the milk or whatever. I'm only just trusting what Aajonus tells me and what these people tell me. So I'm keeping my mind open to the fact that there may be a small percentage of people that have like perforated intestines, and the casein from the milk is passing through into their blood-brain barrier and making them feel like shit. I'm talking to someone on email right now that he says he got like lethargic and depressed drinking dairy. It's just really weird stuff. So you just once you hear it over and over and over again from people, you start to kind of think there may be something to it. And then also with my experiences with A1 milk, I've been on it for about 2 weeks now, and I'm digesting it perfectly fine, guys. But compared to A2, like right there, I just got kind of burped a little bit. Like that's kind of what A1 milk does for me. Is it's just like a little bit of just like maybe burping and stuff, but it's like it's nothing to cry to mom about or whatever. But maybe some people it's worse. But I feel like I'm experiencing the exact same thing that Gatis was talking about. It's just slightly easier digested. Who knows why? Ibrahim, not hating on the raw primal at all diet, but don't you think eating strictly raw meat kind of makes you weak? Like you don't adapt to other foods. Okay, I know what you're saying, and I had this experience. I know exactly what you're saying, and I actually had this experience 2 days ago. It doesn't make you weak. I think it just makes you more sensitive to certain things. What happened was I had a friend at work. He cured up some of that raw bacon, pork belly from the pig, and he cured it up in like this special thing. It had like herbs and garlic and stuff, but he kept it raw. He didn't cook it, but he just cured it for me, and then I ate a piece raw. And it was like, no joke, guys, the most delicious piece of bacon I've ever had in my life. It was so freaking good, man. But I was digesting that thing for like 6 hours. I was burping and burping and it was crazy. And all he did was just like cure it in like a little garlic and herbs and something else. So I don't know, man. I don't know if there's something that he cured it with that I wasn't aware of, but I felt like super duper sensitive to whatever he cured that with. And I don't remember that happening on the standard diet. So yeah, in a sense, if that's what you're saying, I can agree with you on that. You become like more sensitive, I think, probably to the stuff you shouldn't be eating. Brandon White, I really want to get fresh milk when the milk doesn't drop. Oh, I gotta get the chat box going here. Sorry, guys. This software is a little janky. Let's see if I can make this maybe a little bigger. Boom. Really good fresh milk when the milk doesn't drop below a certain temperature while the growth hormones are still intact. I'll just notice that only people with lots of never refrigerated dairy were able to develop as if they grew up on a raw diet for some time. Interesting. Yeah, I might try to convince my farmer to leave some milk in the bucket for me, not refrigerate it. Beach Fitness, I'm doing a 3-day fast with this weekend. What do you think of breaking the fast with some fermented liver? I would say break the fast with what you crave. Don't go into it with any kind of preconceived notions or anything like that, because fasting can be like a big time learning experience. You can learn a lot about what you want and what you need. Just crave it with what break it with what you crave. When I first went on a 10-day fast, I actually broke my fast with cooked food, believe it or not. I was on the raw diet and I was craving cooked food after my 10-day fast. It was probably because of my stomach acid was low and it was craving pre-digested food. I never craved cooked food after that, really. Every once in a while I do sometimes, but yeah, you just break it with what you want. But I would suggest probably like something easy like milk or eggs. I usually crave milk when I go on fast. That's like the first thing I crave, so I always drink a big glass of milk. Caleb Hang, I wish I could access unchilled raw milk. Here in Cali, raw milk is in stores, but expensive as fuck and flash chilled. Yeah, that's messed up. Snow asked, yo, I want to try a 30-day raw milk fast, and the guy who wrote the book on it recommends fresh milk every day. Let me try to catch up on comments here, guys. Sorry, I'm a little behind. Steve Smith, when people say I'm crazy for eating raw meat, I ask them how humans consumed meat prior to discovering fire. They don't have an answer, right? Exactly. Kai Salas, long time no see Weston. Nice to see the iconic hoodie again. Yeah, you bet. Definitely. This is one of my prized hoodies here. I love this little guy. Corey Hall, also if you slip up on the diet and eat standard diet again or drink, then just do a quick 3-day raw milk fast, for sure. Guys, and there's nothing wrong, guys, with eating like a cooked steak every once in a while. You don't have to be a complete freak about this diet, man. If you want to go out and eat a cooked steak for dinner with somebody, then go eat a cooked steak. Just have it rare. There's nothing wrong with that. Tumble Bear, did Owen get you into piano? I did 2 years ago because of him. People tell me I'm really good now. I'm really thankful for that. Definitely not, man. No. The similarities between me and Owen are completely coincidence, and it's partially why I really like the guy and I really connected with him, because we have like a shitload of stuff in common, which is like really weird. But no, I've been messing around with the piano since I was probably like 8 years old, and I took a couple years of piano lessons, and then I really started experimenting with it on my own when I got a hold of the Reason software about 10 years ago, actually, and then produced a bunch of music, probably produced a bunch of tracks on my own with just, simple melodies and whatever, just chords and just kind of figuring stuff out, Like, I really had a lot of fun with that, and I would spend, like, all day making music, like, 8 hours straight, like, working on a track, you know what I mean? Like, I was really, really into that shit, and that was actually my first YouTube channel was a music channel. I uploaded all my music to it, and then I deleted my Google or my Gmail account, and I didn't realize when I deleted my Gmail account I was going to delete my whole channel, so I just accidentally deleted my whole YouTube channel one day. But I still got a bunch of the music somewhere. Maybe I'll start up a channel and upload all my old music to it sometime. But I'm a big music fan, man. Like, my mom played guitar and she would sing for me when I was a kid. My uncle, he's in a band. He plays guitar and saxophone. He's in a band in Arizona, and all that good stuff. Love music. Corey Hall, what's up, Weston? How's the pork? It was great. I had a little piece of it. I think I'm gonna dry age a little bit and try it after that. So I'll let you know. You guys will see it on a stream. Brandon White, most people are probably fine with A1, especially if they collaborate or have some honey. Yeah, I made some. You see, I burp a little bit with this milk. That's it. It's no big deal. I made some kefir or kefir, however you want to call it. I don't know what to call it, man. Kefir. I like kefir. Kefir sounds like the most legit. But I made some A1 kefir, and it tasted exactly the same as the A2 kefir. So when you ferment this stuff, it all comes out the same. Caleb Heng, do you think the RFID chip is the mark of the beast in the Bible? I do at the moment. Yeah, something about that. But you know what? I've been hearing about the mark of the beast chip since like I was like 8 years old, because they've been like, these ideas have been around, since I was a kid. Well, since the Bible probably, but ideas have been proposed legitimately since I was a kid about chipping people. So I think I don't know what to make of it. It's probably just BS. Like, maybe it's not. It's probably not a good idea to do it. Stop it. Just had some pasture-raised chicken wings for dinner. Was delicious. That sounds really good, man. Was it raw? Raw or cooked? Ricky Burger, yeah, I'm basically all Scandinavian from both sides. I've been eating raw chicken every day the last week. It's so delicious, and my pet bird loves it too. Gives me a lot of energy for some reason. Wow, that's really encouraging, because I haven't actually tried raw chicken yet. So that's awesome. That's cool to hear that you're getting something out of that. Sweet. Oh, guys, I got some interesting info for you. I donated blood today. And I got some statistics on my health you guys might find interesting. So I went in there. It was about 10 a.m. I was basically fasted. All I had was like a raw milkshake. So I wasn't totally fasted, but no meat. I didn't really eat anything before I went in there. This morning, my pulse was 64 beats per minute. My hemoglobin levels was 17.1. Which she said was on the higher end. So, how I've been talking about this iron overload thing, and I was going to go in and donate some blood to kind of see if maybe I could dump some iron out of my blood, because it really seems logical, and there's a lot of evidence pointing towards iron creating a lot of diseases in people, overload of iron. So I did some research on that, man, and then it's actually pretty legit. So yeah, for anybody that knows about iron, I don't really know exactly what to make of this other than what they told me. She said 17 was normal, but it was on the higher end. And she says when you get to 20, they won't even accept you to donate blood. So I asked her kind of what the range was of people with hemoglobin, and she said that it would come in anywhere from like 13 to 20. So it does seem as if I could probably get my hemoglobin levels down and still be perfectly healthy, or maybe even healthier, because I'm at 17 right now. So this is gonna be a pretty awesome experiment. So I'm gonna go in and donate blood every 8 weeks, guys. And here's the interesting part: it only takes 7 minutes. Did you guys know that? I thought it was gonna take like 2 hours, and they were gonna like drain all the blood out. Like, it takes 7 minutes. You just fill up this little thing and you go home. It's like nothing to be scared of. And also, my blood pressure today, guys, was 136 over 82. She said the top number was a little high, and I suspect that might be because I was a little dehydrated. I came in, and I was feeling like my blood pressure was a little high this morning. But yeah, anyways, for anybody that's interested, my pulse was 64, 17 hemoglobin, and 136 over 82 blood pressure. So if you guys want free medical statistics, just go donate blood. Jay, what's the benefits of raw ghee butter? I think the casein is like, doesn't that mean the casein is like removed from it? It's no benefit over raw. Like, raw butter is way better. It's just, I think they're trying to circumvent the whole people are getting intolerant to pasteurized butter. So they're making this like a ghee butter, which is like removing the part that people are becoming intolerant to in the pasteurized butter. But if you just don't pasteurize the butter, you don't have to buy ghee. That's my take on it. Sounds like, I think it's like some new BS. Kane Smith, would raw milk fix my gums and grinded down teeth? Probably. My teeth got a lot better on this diet, man. I had a traumatic facial injury and I chipped 12 of my teeth in half, and I really feel like my teeth are like, they're basically healed. It's amazing. Meep meep. Eating a cooked steak is amazing and tasty. It can be really good, you know? And like, you know, I don't drink either, you know what I'm saying? But like, if there's like a special occasion and you want to have a steak and like a glass of red wine, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? If you're eating a raw primal diet, like you shouldn't be scared of anything. It's just, don't overindulge on any of this stuff. And don't drink to get drunk, but you don't have to avoid every fun thing in the world, you know? Or every like social interaction because you're this like raw meathead, you know? It's important to go out, experience your community, go out and see normal people. It's important to see that shit, even if you don't have anything in common with them, you know, you still got to be around your society, you know, to feel normal at times. Eat raw meat. I think the sun is the most important nutrient. That's why they block it out with chemtrails. Yeah, I don't know what to make of the chemtrails thing. A lot of people are convinced of that. I haven't seen evidence of it yet. You know, I need some more hard evidence on that. But I do believe the sun is definitely an amazing nutrient, man. Because, like, I don't heal at all in the wintertime. I get, like, when I have that like detox thing that I get, that like vaccine or antibiotic detox that I get on a regular basis out of my lower back, it lasts like a month, over a month sometimes in the wintertime. It's like I need the sun to heal. And that deep tissue bruise that I had on my hand that I've been telling you guys about, I still have that. Isn't that crazy? I've had this for like a month and a half. But it feels like sleep, like really, really good sleep is healing it. Eat raw meat says kefir. 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 Is that what it is? Oh, kefir. Okay. So it's not kefir. It's not kefir. It's kefir. That's what it is. Kefir. It's a tricky word, man. Kane Smith, same. Ever since I was a kid, I was scared of that damn chip. Yeah. Yeah, they do make you scared of it. Eat raw meat says the mark of the beast is the barcode on everything you buy today. Or tattoos. Got to think about that too. Look how many people have tattoos today, guys. What if that's the mark of the beast? Hero Damon didn't get notified again about this damn YouTube, you slacking. Dang it. It's alright, man. We'll survive. We'll make it, guys. The truth comes out in the end. They may have the advantage now, but you know. Eat raw meat says Wes, don't give your blood away, man. I gotta be honest with you, man. It actually felt pretty damn good. It felt pretty good. Wolf Chance, don't you think most sad dieters today are actually iron deficient? Probably. Yeah. Bradley David Good, I think top number blood pressure a little high is fine. That's reassuring. I don't really pay attention to that stuff because I know it's all based on like horseshit science. And Aajonus always said if you have high blood pressure, it's for a reason. Like, because you have something lodged or blocking in your system. So, you know, don't take blood pressure medicine because you're going to potentially get yourself into a really bad situation. Meteor Man says I avoided liver to donate plasma. Liver jacked up my hemoglobin and I would get deferred. Really? Yeah, interesting. I wonder. See, here's the interesting part. I wonder if I wouldn't have gone on this white meat thing all week, what my hemoglobin would have went. Eat raw meat says. Let's see. I think doctors make up those numbers to fear people. They take all the sick people and make the numbers with them. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They don't know what a healthy number is. You know what I mean? Like my blood pressure today was probably like an extremely healthy blood pressure, and they should probably like, if anything, model it after me because I'm been on this like super insanely healthy diet. But they don't, it's like they don't model their blood pressure numbers after healthy people. Kai saw this. Al Gore was caught in the airport with a briefcase full of packaged human blood. That's fucking weird. Parrot, Iperyl steroid, and PEDs. Do you really believe in this iron overload stuff? For sure. It's not stuff, dude. It's definitely not stuff. You gotta research, man. You gotta research. Google this shit. Look at every website. Look at the evidence. And it's linked with a lot of weird shit. A lot of weird diseases. And it's definitely a real thing. People get so much iron in their system, they turn bronze, dude. Like their skin turns bronze. It's 100% real. Caleb Huang does raw milk whiten teeth. I felt like eggs whitened my teeth. Raw eggs. I don't know about raw milk. It could have been the milk too, but I noticed that raw eggs actually made my teeth and my hair and my skin look the best. Snow asks, Milk Diet is a remedy for chronic disease by Dr. Charles Porter and The Miracle of Milk by Bernard McFadden. Dude, that's one of the first books I read, man. By Miracle of Milk by Bernard McFadden. Hero Diamond says ghee is disgusting anyway. It's just butter that's been heated. Yeah, it's pretty gross. P. Miller, when I cheat on the diet, I'm upset not because of the carbs or salt, but because of how it'll affect my digestion. Yeah, exactly. I don't get that digestion thing with like steaks if I go out to lunch or something, which only happens like once a month or two. But I don't get the digestion thing with steaks, but I will get it with like that cured bacon that I had the other day that has like herbs and garlic. Caleb Wang says, I only drink to get drunk. I hate the taste. Really? I love the taste of red wine, man. Red wine's delicious. Patchy says, I cheat and eat outside once a week usually. I absolutely hate the feeling afterwards. Never worth it. Yeah, I know what you mean. I had a dream last night. I was like really hungry this morning. I had a dream I was eating spaghetti. Freaking spaghetti, man. The best part about cheating on this diet in your dream is you get to enjoy the food and your digestion doesn't feel it at all. That was awesome. Meteor Man, Milk Jar smokes cigarettes because he says his diet is so healthy that it cancels out any negative effects. Interesting. That guy, what's his name? Matrimark? Maitremark. Really interesting channel. He wears like really weird clothes and he like live streams from a cave and just has all sorts of awesome shit to say. He smokes cigarettes on his streams all the time and he says it helps detox like fluoride or something. So I don't know, man. I smoked cigarettes for 10 years and I have like a pretty good intuition towards health. So who knows what drew me to cigarettes? It could be something to it. I feel like it was something more mental, like because it's science says that nicotine enhances your acetylcholine neurotransmitter, which is like a volume knob for all of your neurotransmitters. So when you boost your acetylcholine with nicotine, it boosts your dopamine, your serotonin, your adrenaline. So you're really getting high on cigarettes. And I think that I wouldn't trust the guys that tell you that cigarettes are fine or they're like actually healthy for you, because I think they're just probably they're getting deceived by the drug because the drug is making them so high that they're, you know what I'm saying? Like when people are hooked on drugs, they'll try to convince you that it's good for you and them. But once they get off the drug, they're like, holy shit, I don't know what I was thinking, you know? P. Miller, kefir, but say it fast. Kefir, 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 kefir. Now I can't remember how Raw Meat was saying it. Kefir. Kefir. I like kefir. I think kefir is the way. Kefir sounds the most legit. Snow asks, Caleb Wayne, look up Charles Porter. He cured over 18,000 people with that 30-day fast from all kinds of diseases. Yeah, fasting is like ridiculously interesting, guys. Ridiculously interesting. But the thing is you don't have to do that if you just get on this diet. You know, it's like those are people that had like their bodies were broken by cereal and pasteurized milk and shit. Meteor Man, milk jar smokes all natural cigarettes. Right on. But what kind of paper? You know what I'm saying? Still smoking paper, right? Wolfshand, I noticed my skin getting smooth as fuck after I eat cooked meat. Aajonus said it slows down detox. Huh. Wolfshand, I limit eating cooked every 2 months. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I've probably had 6 cooked steaks on this whole year and a half journey. P. Miller says milk helped my enamel. That makes the most sense because it's got all that calcium. Sorry, I was just thinking how satiating this freaking meat is, man. This Wagyu beef is unbelievably satiating, man. I'm like already getting full, kind of. It's like so fatty. Look at that stuff. Pretty marbled. It's legit. So this isn't 100% Wagyu. I guess everything in America, for the most part, is crossed with Angus. So it's like 90% Wagyu and like 10% Angus. Danya, which part of the meat is the most beneficial? Depends on what you want to heal. If you want to heal your muscles, you want to build your muscles, eat muscle meat. If you want to detox your brain, eat raw brain. If you want to heal your liver, eat liver. If you want to heal your kidneys, eat kidneys. If you want nice skin, eat the collagen from bone broth, or eat just, the collagen from the meat. Martin O'Donnell, when I eat junk food, I get acne and oily skin. Yeah. When I was growing up, I had oily skin and stuff. Eat raw meat. I once read that all the people have iron overload, so we get stuck here in this matrix because iron is so magnetic. That's some deep shit. I like that idea. Wolf Chance, when I eat pizza or burger, I usually get eczema and bloating for one day only. P. Miller, you look like Aaron Rodgers. I've gotten that before. Yeah, that's the other doppelganger that I think I have running around here. I usually get Ben Affleck, Aaron Rodgers, and then that one actor dude. What the hell is his freaking name? Can't remember. But I usually get those guys regularly. Caleb Huang, if cigs can be healthful, I'd jump back on in an instant. Yeah. Cigarettes are fun, dude. Very social, Especially like having a couple drinks and then like smoking cigarettes. Everybody gets all chatty. Hero Diamond, I just quit nicotine after starting to eat a lot of eggs, so I don't feel like using cigarettes anymore. Nice. Yeah, I quit cigarettes about 8 years ago. Theo Johnson, what health benefits did you notice when you donated blood? I don't know if it was just like psychosomatic or if it was like placebo or whatever. But as soon as I started donating the blood, I felt a lot more relaxed, And I felt really good all day today. So I don't know. Maybe I dumped a little bit of iron, and maybe that made me feel a little bit better. I've been suspecting that I've got this iron overload thing, not because I'm like a hypochondriac and I freak out about the littlest shit without researching it, because I actually researched it and I've been eating 2 to 3 pounds of red meat every day for a year and a half, guys. So, yeah. And I also have these like little red spots. They're called like, I don't know how to say it. It's like Prutricha or something, or Prutricia or something. Like those little red spots that you sometimes get on your skin. I somehow got like a bunch of them at one time and I never got any more. So I don't know what the hell that was from. And I've always wondered what it was from. And my little brother didn't have them. I remember him saying like, "What the hell is that?" And I was like, "I don't know, probably AIDS or something." I was just joking, but I don't know what it is. If you guys, anybody know what causes those little red spots? I wish I could show you guys. I got a couple right here actually. I think you can actually see it. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's just like it's like a bright red spot. Like something is detoxing out of my skin or something. So I was a little paranoid that was iron too. So I don't know what to make of all this. So I'm just doing the only thing you can do. Go in, experiment, donate blood, which is great. People need blood, dying people need blood and stuff. So, and also, like someone else mentioned, it just mimics bloodletting, which is actually like an ancient medical practice, which supposedly has a lot of benefits. Because I think they knew about this iron overload thing, like they knew about everything. There's nothing new under the sun, guys. They knew about this stuff probably thousands of years ago. They realized that if you bloodlet or if you donate blood, that it somehow avoids some of these like iron overload disorders. So I don't think it's hogwash, guys. I have a pretty good hogwash detector at this point because I've seen all of the bullshit in the world, and getting on this diet, it just gives you like total clarity to kind of just see through all of the crap. And donating blood and iron overload and bloodletting and all that stuff seems like super legit. You raw meat, there's 100% organic hemp paper. That would work. Yeah, that would work. You're still getting benzene though. Benzene is real bad for you. Otis 8, thoughts on pasteurized cheese? Fine in moderation. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do pasteurizing anything. Pasteurization is just, you can get raw cheese anywhere. Just, you can order it online. You can get it from Whole Foods. Whole Foods has a gigantic raw cheese section, That's the one thing that they have, which is semi-legit. Bradley Diviga, I tried to believe tobacco is good and smoked it on and off many times over the years. I feel much better off of it. I think it's one of the strongest drugs, plus the papers have chemicals. Yeah. It's very strong. P. Miller, I don't think cooked beef or chicken is that detrimental in moderation. Yeah. See, the thing is, guys, you got to be open to the cooked food thing because there may be certain situations to where you're not going to have access to raw beef. Let's say you're traveling or something or whatever, and let's say you're in an airport, stuff like that. You got to have a cooked steak, man. So you got to, Astra Conlu is the one that kind of opened my mind up to this, and she's totally right. The benefits of going on this diet is it makes it so you can adapt to situations like that. P. Miller, some people eat solely cooked meat and are pretty healthy. Yeah. I tell people that are like interested in what I'm doing, but they're a little repulsed by the raw meat thing. I just tell them, who cares? Then make your steaks raw. I'm not going to push this shit on you. Just start drinking raw milk at least, Don't like shove this stuff down people's throats because a lot of people are resistant to the raw meat thing. It's really heavy brainwashing. Just the way to get these guys into the diet, guys, is get them on raw milk, and then it'll open up like this guy at work. I've got 6 new people on raw milk, guys. 2 of them little children, and there's more people at work too that are interested in it. There's one guy at work that had like a colon cancer and all this stuff, and he's like, I'm lactose intolerant. So I totally red-pilled him on, he's this old boomer guy, but I totally red-pilled him on the whole lactose intolerance is basically bullshit thing, and his mind was blown, dude. After I told him that the enzyme that digests lactose is, it's boiled out in the pasteurization process, his mind was blown. So I might get this old man on raw milk too, so it's like, it feels really good to like directly help people, online and also like in my everyday life, because it's just, you really get to see them like get healthier and stuff. But the way to do it is slip in that raw milk. And once I did that with the guy I worked with, I actually saw him 2 days ago. He ate a little piece of the raw pork off the pig. He's like, I'm helping him break his fear conditioning. You know, we have a lot in common, and it was pretty easy to do with him. You know, because he's a guy just like me, and he's just naturally kind of fearless, and he's a pretty smart dude too. And he was just like, he ate the meat, and I was like, why are people scared of that? You know, I was like, it's perfectly fine. He's like, I know it's weird, isn't it? So I'm starting to wake some people up a little bit, or they're waking up, and I'm just helping them get access to the food. Yeah, this is some good beef, man. This is like so freaking satiating though. I didn't realize this Wagyu beef was gonna be like this filling. All that fat, man. Haha, eat raw meat, says Clive Owen. That's exactly who it is, dude. How'd you nail it? Clive Owen's my third doppelganger. I got some pretty good doppelgangers. I'll take that. I've heard worse. I told my buddy he looked like Quentin Tarantino, and he like gave me like a real funny look. So you got to be careful who you tell people that you look like. Danya, how long did it take you to end the sugar addiction you had? About 1 week, and it felt like I was detoxing from like cocaine or something. It was like pretty bad week. But I was going from like eating like milkshakes and shit. Hero Diamond says you look a little pale. You're right. And I knew someone was going to say that too, especially after the blood donating thing. I look pale because we have had no freaking sun in like over 2 weeks, man. It came out of the clouds a little bit today, but we're in the belly of the beast here in Nebraska, and this is basically what I look like every winter. It's like just pale as hell, man. Froya, oh, I'm late. Hello. What's up, Froya? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Bradley, do you have a good blood donation? I just wouldn't want anything to poke into my skin, needle, knife, anything. I think it is so unnatural and violating something, stabbing you. Think about it. Yeah, it is. A little bit. Yeah, but think about tattoos. You know what I mean? Do you have a tattoo? Think how many people have tattoos. There's way more people that have tattoos than donate blood. You know what I'm saying? But nobody talks shit about tattoos because supposedly it's like cool and hip. But that's like 1,000 times more ridiculous than donating blood. You know, having some complete stranger inject unregulated ink into your skin to permanently dye your skin colors. P. Miller, I get those red spots too. Yeah, what the hell is that? Snow ass, hello. Feeling my chest. Yeah, that's where mine are too. I got a few of those red spots on my chest, mostly. And then I have like a couple on my thigh, like 1 or 2 on my thigh. Meteor Man says my dad has those red spots. Yeah, what the hell is that? Meat Man says hives. It's not hives. It's not hives. It looks like red ink, like a little dot of red ink, like a bright red ink. Yo, mama, are you going to get a test for iron? I just did. I have 17 hemoglobin. She said it's on the high end, so it coincides with my suspicions. My iron is a bit on the high end, and this is after going without red meat for like a week, guys. Caleb Huang, is poppin' acne harmful? Definitely. I have major freaking scars on my head from poppin' acne. I got freaking holes. I have like big dents in my temples from... It was either acne or some kind of weird detox from pasteurized milk when I was a teenager. P. Miller, they may drink your blood, but if it's beneficial, who cares? We're born into the beast system and there's no 100% escape. Yeah, it doesn't affect me if they drink my blood. I don't give a shit. Eat raw meat. As a vegan, I thought bloodletting is good to get out toxins like iron and parasites. Maybe it is actually good on the primal diet. Right. Exactly. Yeah, it makes so much logical sense, man. Patchy says he's got coronavirus in Toronto. I wouldn't believe it, man. Wouldn't believe it. Meteor Man, I get thirsty at the blood bank. It's funny. Bradley David Good. Just don't eat so much red meat. Chicken, turkey, fish, scallops, clams, oysters. Humans ate a lot of birds. There were so many of them in the past. Yeah, I know. Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm not going to go on the extreme end and like start like bloodletting every night and all that shit. It's like, you know, I feel fine. And I feel actually a lot better eating like mostly fish and stuff last week. But I lucked out and I found a local pastured chicken supplier, the same place where I get this Wagyu beef. And it's awesome, man. It was like just, that's why I love the Midwest, you know? It's like I just walk into this like little tiny little shack and it's like just a counter. There's like 4 feet of space where you can walk and it's just a counter. And I was just talking to this guy face to face about his operation, about the Wagyu beef and about the marrow and just all of the chicken. And it's like, you really get to have like just face to face conversations with like, you know, the distributors, and we talked about the farm, and you know, it was just cool. Wolf Shand, I've done a blood brotherhood with a friend once, LOL. Yeah, I did that when I was like in elementary school. Then I was paranoid I had AIDS after that. I was like, what if that kid had AIDS? I was like, we were blood brothers. Aajonus said the tribes who ate solely cooked meat only had 6 diseases like arthritis. Hero Diamond, it's simple. Tie yourself to your land. No need to fly nowhere. The whole world is on our fingertips. Yeah, I know what you mean. Definitely. Yeah, flying does seem unnatural, doesn't it? Going up in that like that pressurized cabin. I've had a weird detoxes happen after I got on off of plane flights. Very strange stuff. Yeah, guys, the coronavirus is bullshit, guys. Viruses aren't even transmutable. Let me rephrase that. I do not believe, from what I have seen, there is no evidence that viruses are transmutable between humans. It's bullshit. Viruses aren't even alive, guys. They're dead. It doesn't make sense that we would have something like that, you know, flying around between people. God wouldn't create an environment like that, guys. So it's not, yeah, it's just some kind of weird detox. Like somebody, yeah, it doesn't make sense that it would spread like that. Hero Dam and raw milk and raw eggs are actually the red pill. That's right. Raw meat is the final red pill. This egg's still got feathers on it. Sarah Sapien, hi Weston. Hello, Sarah. Kurt Godger, the red dots are called purpura. Yeah, that sounds right. I've heard it called purpura and also protetia or whatever too, but purpura sounds more like it. Tattoo ink are full of heavy metals. Man, that's scary, dude. Eat raw meat. Tattoos always look like shit, especially on a woman. Yes, especially when they're showing. Not a big fan of that. Hero Diamond, you eat a lot of red meat, man. I don't know. I've been eating way less, but more eggs and milk. That's kind of what the body be craving. I think the carnivore thing is pushing people towards iron overload. You think? That's exactly what pushed me into it, man. Following Sean Baker, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't like to create feuds between carnivores and cooked meat eaters and raw meat eaters and stuff like that, but that guy is such a barbarian, dude, you know? He's just like, you know, video after video of him just like grilling another ribeye. He's like a freaking ribeye robot, you know? He's a ribeye bot. And he just freaking grills ribeyes over and 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 over again. Like, dude, that can't be good for you. And completely ignoring like raw milk and shit. Like, and he claims to be some kind of like freaking bodybuilder or something, or some kind of supreme athlete. But everybody knows that like the best athletes in the world drink raw milk. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of him. Just another brainwashed boomer. And I think he's getting addicted to the attention. And he's afraid to switch his message up because he doesn't want to lose a bunch of following. He doesn't, like, he basically went through hell already. You know, I have compassion for the guy because he went through hell. He lost his, like, job pushing the carnivore thing. And so I don't think he's ready, man. I honestly don't think he's strong enough of a person to go into the raw meat thing because he's not ready to go through hell again. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say there? Like, just, he got socially ostracized and lost his freaking medical license and shit, basically, from doing like the carnivore, pushing the carnivore on people. And he's afraid that will probably happen again if he starts pushing raw meat. So I think he's afraid, dude. He acts like this big tough guy, frying ribeyes and lifting all his damn heavy weights and shit, but like that's all ego, man. Like it's all freaking ego. When you really look inside that, man, there's like a scared little boy inside of there, you know? Wolf Shange. I don't even change my bed sheets that often anymore. Dirt from outside also doesn't make you break out, but toxins like chlorine or vegetable oils. Yeah, I sleep on a blanket, and I also found that like I don't have to wash my blanket hardly ever. Eat raw meat. I hate not knowing the 100% right thing to do about diet. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like seems like we're always missing something. We're getting there though, man. Like we're really close. I think we're like, honestly, we're at like 95% right now, you know? 100% would be like the dietary master or dietary wizard. We're almost at wizard level, you know? We're at like, I tell everybody like this raw meat thing is like it's like way off the deep end. This is like way past like black belt, you know what I mean? This is like, the raw meat diet is like in between black belt of nutrition and like nutrition wizard. Nutrition wizard would be somebody that could like just drink raw milk and just that's it or something, you know what I mean? Just raw milk and eggs. P-meal, I tend to just crave eggs and milk the most, but then I realize I need the creatine. Yeah, me too. I need the red meat and stuff for strength. I know what you mean. And I also need the creatine for the mind too. You know, it helps the mind out. But yeah, I mostly crave milk and cheese. I guess I don't really, it's hard to say if I crave eggs or not, but yo mama, have you heard of Matt Blackburn? Any thoughts? I have not heard of Matt Blackburn. Cindy K, if you had to choose 3 foods to eat the rest of your life, what would it be? Raw milk, beef, and eggs? Yep. You nailed it. Well, let me think about that. No. I would eat raw milk, king salmon, and eggs. Wolf Shange, everyone is freaking out about Corona where I live. We're all just chilling knowing the truth about vaccines and viruses. It's funny. Isn't that stupid? God, man, all this, they push all this fear on you and they want you to be scared all the time of everything. And it ruins your nervous system being scared of shit all the time, you know? That's how they control you, man. You know? They control you. The media is so bad. You guys realize that the media is everything? You guys realize that if you shut the media off, all you would have is the people in your day-to-day life to talk to. That's it. If you completely shut the media off, you guys know the media represents everything. The media represents all books, all magazines, all of the internet, all of television, all of movies, all of newspapers, all articles. That's all media. All medical literature. Everything. All that shit is media. It's evil, man. It's all deception and it's all pushing fear. If you just completely remove yourself from the media, Think about that. Where would you get your information from? You would get it like from your mom and dad. You would get it from your family. They wouldn't know about the coronavirus and shit. It's so dumb. System of a Fox. Have you tried raw blue cheese? No, I have not. Cindy K, do you know something about binge eating and throwing up to keep eating? It's really like hell. I know nothing about that. It sounds like hell. Eat raw meat. Derek Nance said he ate purple meat, the best he ever had. I've had some pretty good grass-fed meat that was purple. It's good stuff. Boxing fan. I've been raw carnivore for 2 years and never had raw seafood. What? I went to Whole Foods and tried the wild-caught sockeye salmon. It tasted amazing. I also tried the tuna steak, and yeah, it's good stuff, man. Tuna steak is the best. You gotta try the king salmon, man. I know the price is like freaking absurd. It's like $25, but you gotta try it out. Bradley David Good, is there any more info on Derek Nance other than the news videos? I would love to learn more from that guy. Seems like he has it going on. Yeah, he's got a pretty good little operation going on over there, you know? But it's like, it's not like he's, I mean, I'm not talking bad about the guy, but it's not like he's presenting anything new to the world, you know what I mean? All he's doing is processing his own animals, you know, maybe making some smoothies here and there, but he's just butchering his own animals, guys, you know? That's all you do. Throw it in the back of your truck, drive it home and butcher it, and then you dry age it, you know? It's really not rocket science. Anybody can do it. Yo, mama, you should look him up on Instagram. His whole thing is iron overload and such. Oh, okay. I will maybe do that. Let's see. What was his name again? Matt Blackburn. Right on. Yeah, I'd like to learn more about that. Especially now that I got like a free hemoglobin readout, which is cool. Snow Ass is maybe camel milk for my third food. I never had that. A little messy. Eat Raw Meat says media and alternative media. The same fear. The only difference is that the alternative media has some more truth and many half-truths. It's worse. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, because they want you to believe. They want you to believe they're half-truths while they're dishing you out the good stuff. Bradley David Good. Anytime you are tempted to respond in fear, know that you are believing an illusion. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. We're not supposed to be afraid of anything. If anything, we're supposed to fear God. That's it, you know? Because he's the one that brings life and ends life. He's the only one that can take your life. So, you know, and you shouldn't be scared to die anyways, but you know what I'm trying to say. He's the grand creator and the grand destroyer. Caleb Wang, bro, let's see a raw lobster mukbang. Maybe. I might do that. Lobsters are bugs, though, aren't they? Javier Vargas, full plate still. Good. Yeah, I'm an hour into it. This is like just so satiating. I'm basically already feeling kind of full. Because I got marrow, I got butter, eggs, and I got milk down here. I've been drinking a lot of milk lately. I drank a like almost a quart of kefir today, and it like knocked me out. I had to go to sleep. Marrow is so freaking messy. Eat raw meat says I will soon get my freezer so I can dry age meat like Derek. Yeah, me too. I think that sounds legit. But as far as I was trying to figure out how to make that freezer, so all you have to do is keep the humidity down, correct? Which is like, I don't understand. Explain this to me, Eat Raw Meat. What the hell is the difference between Derek's dry aging freezer and just a freezer? Or just a refrigerator? I don't understand the difference. Because I didn't see any kind of like humidity regulation in there. So if you're not regulating the humidity, then is it really that special? Then can't you just dry age in a refrigerator or no? Or do you actually need a little bit more humidity than a refrigerator? Because I want to make something like that, but I started looking at videos on the internet and YouTube, and it's like so freaking confusing, man. Like everybody's got their own way of making dry aging freezers, and it's like, it's a nightmare, dude. So I want like the simplest way possible. If anybody knows how to make a dry aging freezer, like I understand how to regulate temperature. I understand how to do that. You don't have to explain that to me. But how do you regulate the humidity? Snow asks, fear leads to anger and anger leads to hate. Yes. And to finish your comments, hate leads to murder. Because hate, if you have hate in your heart, that's the very first step to murder. That's some mind-blowing shit that I heard from a Christian one time. That's why you can learn a lot from people that believe in God and believe in the truth of God. Because when I learned that hate is the first step to murder, it just blew my freaking mind, man. Because I was like, they're so damn right. When you're hating somebody in your heart, you're murdering them in your heart, man. So fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to murder. So they're pushing this fear through the media so we all go murder each other. They want us to kill each other, which is ultimately the goal of Satan. It's to make us do his work for him and destroy each other. It's all logical stuff, man. It's all very linear and logical stuff. Kurt Godreau, I'm pretty sure purple meat happens when the animal is stressed. Usually makes the meat tougher and spoils faster. You think so? I thought it was just nutrient density. Because I've had some really good grass-fed meat, 100% grass-fed on Nebraska pastures. That was purple. If you check my Instagram out, Kurt Godreau, I got one of my first pictures I posted was purple. I'll link you guys my Instagram here. I'm going to start making my own butter here. Patchy says you can always make your own cheese. AJ has many recipes and it's easy. Don't you have to heat it, though, to make cheese? But yeah, I'm going to start making my own butter here. System of a Fox. Marrow makes me feel warm and almost euphoric. Interesting. Yeah, marrow is great, isn't it? It is almost euphoric, huh? Makes you feel really good. Hero Demon, when I was 16, I used to do raw eggs, Rocky style, but stopped later when my stepmom started telling me they're going to give me this and that disease. I attribute my muscles to raw eggs. That's funny, man. I think Rocky made me and my brothers do raw eggs, too. Bradley David Good, do you dry age stuff? If so, how? Check my Instagram out. I'm experimenting right now with it. I got some ribs hanging up in my garage because it's wintertime. It's the perfect time to dry age outside right now. So I'm dry aging in my garage. And you can either do it hanging up or I just do it honestly in my refrigerator and I'll do it on a rack. And yeah, I just dry age it on, you just look up like on Amazon or wherever the hell, just tiny little like racks. So the air can get to it. Look at this, guys. Hour and 20 minutes into the stream and 100% gamma free. You see how a few like bannings helps keep them away? Eat raw meat says Derek's freezer temperature is lower. It's 1% or 1 Celsius. Just over freezing. Okay. Gotcha. So you're saying that a normal refrigerator, I don't know anything about this shit. So you're saying that a normal fridge won't go that low? It won't go down to 1 Celsius? Which kind of makes sense. Gotcha. Okay. So interesting. So, okay. Now, eat raw meat. When you're talking about Derek's freezer, are you talking about a freezer or a refrigerator? Because I get confused. A lot of people call refrigerators freezers. You're talking about an actual freezer, right? And you're talking about regulating the temperature to where it goes above freezing. That's what you're saying, right? Just to confirm. Wolfshange, Derek puts a towel on his fridge to avoid humidity. A towel in his fridge? Oh, on his fridge. So the humidity doesn't go inside from the outside? Okay. Patchy, you do not get a root canal. Never get a root canal, guys. Would you let someone carve out the inside of your arm bone and then stick dental epoxy inside of it and then seal it up again? No, you would never let someone do that to your arm, right? Then why would you let them do it to a bone in your skull? Think about this stuff, guys. It's very logical. Or illogical, however you want to look at it. Caleb Hoang says, I dry age raw meat exposed to the air indoors, no issues. The only issue I could see with that, Caleb, I know you've mentioned this before, is that you're going to kind of take on like a lot of the odors from the environment there. You know what I'm saying? That could be an issue. But if you don't notice it, then maybe it's not. Adam, I'm not going to butcher your name. Oh, hey, folks. What's up, man? Patchy, I used to have a black tooth before raw primal. It's light gray now. Interesting. Snow ass, he said he keeps it at 38 degrees, I think. All right, 38, huh? So couldn't you do that in a refrigerator though? Like, couldn't you just like? So what's the if either 37 or 38? Okay. So couldn't you just dry age in a refrigerator like I'm doing? I mean, I'm basically dry aging in my refrigerator for like, I can go like a couple weeks at a time and it seems to work out. I'm just wondering, do you guys think I'm missing any benefits by just dry aging in my fridge on a rack? I mean, okay, I guess here's a pretty big difference is I can't hang like hunks of meat in there. That's a really major difference. So I guess Derek's refrigerator or freezer is like more adapted to hanging like giant chunks. Whereas mine is just like I put like a little roast on a rack or something. So maybe is that the difference? Is that his is just like more open inside? Apotheosis says love leads to fear. That's the most illogical thing I've ever heard. Bradley David Good, I'm thinking of aging some meat on a rack on a tray in the fridge and then get it out on the counter for hours at a time, in and out of the fridge. Huh. Like heating it up and lowering the temperature like that? Snow Ice, I forgot what he said about the humidity, but it's not a freezer, it's a fridge. Okay, thanks. I appreciate that, yeah. It's a fridge. That's where I was getting confused, raw meat. You're calling it a freezer. I believe what he had was a fridge. Because, yeah, freezers don't usually stand up like that. Freezers are usually like, they sit sideways. Yeah, I wish Derek Nance would do another video on that, because he didn't really clarify a bunch of that stuff. Bradley David Good. Yeah, the bannings are good. This is a great place. Yeah, dude. You got to do it. You got to shed a little blood, man, to get some freedom. Eat raw meats. 1 banning a day keeps the gammas away. Yes, they do. We almost had one earlier. Did you guys see it? Did you sense it? There was one poking his head out of the bushes, but he ran away. Kurt Godreau, put a fan in the fridge to keep the air circulating for dry aging. Ah, yes. I like that idea, man. Thanks for that. So if you just... I'm going to do this, guys. So get a fridge, used fridge, and then get a temperature controller, plug into the wall, plug a fridge into the temperature controller, regulate the temperature. You put the thermometer in the fridge, and then when it gets to a certain temperature, it'll shut off. It'll shut the fridge off. I also heard that's a great way to burn out your fridge compressor. So it's probably best to do this with a used refrigerator. But so yeah, used refrigerator, a temperature regulator, and then a fan. Anything else? Cindy K, I have a cavity on my tooth. The dentist wants to do a root canal, but I heard it's really bad for the body. You think cavities can heal from alone on the primal diet? Yes, absolutely. Drink a lot of raw milk. Bone marrow. Aajonus recommended like sticking raw bone marrow on the tooth. That's going to obviously build your tooth because it's bone marrow. But don't get a root canal, Cindy. Do not do it. I had a complete disaster from a root canal. It happened exactly how they said it would. It was cracked. It was leaking shit into my face. I had my face swell up multiple times. I had to go to the ER a couple times because my whole head was swelled up. I had no idea it was linked with the root canal. It's at the time it happens, you don't realize this stuff is happening. But it was a freaking nightmare, man. And I had to actually pay to get it removed 15 years later, last November, and it cost me $2,500. So not only did it like basically screw my health up for 15 years, I had to pay $2,500 to fix it. And now I have these fake teeth, and it like, my smile actually isn't bad for having these fake teeth up here, but it did fuck up like my tooth line a little bit. But I was willing to basically destroy my smile to get this tooth taken out. And it's not destroyed, but you know what I mean. It sucks having like basically, because I had braces too, so I had like basically a perfect smile. These dentists like basically screwed up my perfect smile. It's like kind of bullshit, man. But it was done. I had mine done at it was a dental school. Don't ever go to a dental school, man. That is like, good Lord. What a nightmare, dude. But yeah, look up Price Pottinger Foundation. Root canals. I'll link it for you because this is like one of the most eye-opening videos on root canals you'll ever watch. And what do you know? It doesn't come up in the YouTube search results every time I search for it. That's freaking bullshit. So let's see. Yeah. This video will blow your freaking mind, dude. Watch this video before you do a root canal, man. Eat raw meat says the lowest temperature in the fridge I found is 4. Eat raw meat says Derek has took a freezer unit and built it in his fridge so it can lower temperature. Oh. So he took like the freezer hardware and then put it in the fridge? That's getting a little complicated, but maybe not. He took a freezer unit and built it in his fridge. I gotta know how he did this. So it can get lower temperature. Interesting. So you don't think what's 4 Celsius? So you don't think 4 Celsius is low enough to dry age? Kirk Godreau, my little bar fridge works good for dry aging. I'm having pretty good luck in just my refrigerator right now. So the only thing that I can't do is like big chunks. Adam says Weston Price's son died from a root canal Weston did on him. Oh, no way. I knew his son died, but I didn't know it was one that Weston did on him. No shit. That's mind-blowing, dude. Hanma, your hero. Tons of cadaverine is created by root canaling teeth. The gutta percha filling won't fill out all of the small roots of the now dead tooth. Exactly. And it blocks the bacteria so it becomes anaerobic. Root canals are linked with breast cancer too, guys. As soon as I found this out, I started asking everybody if they knew someone with cancer, and then I asked them if they had root canals, and 2 of them with breast cancer had root canals done. Because what happens is, it's the 4th molar. Your teeth are all on meridians. Your teeth, look up teeth meridian chart. Your teeth are connected with everything in your body. And so when you like do a root canal on this like 4th molar back here, it's connected to your breast tissue. So you block the bone with a root canal, and it creates anaerobic bacteria, which drains down through your lymphatic system into your breast tissue, and that's how breast cancer is made. That's one way it's made. Hanma, natural human diet. Are your new teeth full ceramics, or do they have other metalloids like nickel, etc. inside? I did ceramic. Yes, ceramics. Yep, I paid the big bucks for ceramics. I think they're full ceramics. You never know. Adam says I had pig brain the other day. Pig brain's pretty good. Bradley David Good, what happens bad to your big chunks when dry aged? I don't think anything bad. Dark Side of the Bear, what's up? I haven't seen you here. Glad to see you made it. My condolences, that's scary. Yeah, it sucks. But at least I got it fixed, you know what I mean? And at least like I'm still here, you know? But it sucked, man. That root canal thing really screwed me up. It made my tooth turn black. It screwed up my smile. Made my head swell up. It could go on and on about it. One of the weirdest things that happened with my root canal, guys, was I went on a plane flight, and as soon as I got off, have you guys heard of the term barotrauma? It's one of like something I learned. It's barometric pressure trauma. It's basically like the bends. When you like come up from a deep submarine dive too fast, you can get the bends and your body like blows up. That's what happened to me after a plane flight one time. I got barotrauma. I got off the flight and my head swelled up from my root canal. So it was like really scary, man. Kurt Godreau, I sent you a link on Instagram of a dry aging setup. Thank you, man. Thank you. I've seen quite a few of them. Some of them are like really, really complicated looking. I'm looking for something just like, you know, a used refrigerator or a used freezer and a temperature regulator and some kind of easy humidity control, you know. Eat raw meat, but I will buy a freezer with an external temperature regulator because I think freezers are better for dry aging. The cold air can't escape when I open the door and the fridge escapes. Right, yeah, freezers are, yeah, that's a little bit easier there. I think I will buy a freezer too. And with a freezer, you could go, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can go above freezing in a freezer, right? If you get a temperature regulator. Yeah, exactly, because you'd get a temperature regulator, and then if it went too cold, it would just turn the freezer off. That makes perfect sense. Right. So what do you think about, I'll have to think about this. I got to figure out, you know, what I need it for, because I'm not exactly butchering my own animals like Derek is, so I don't really need anything to like hang chunks. I really would need something more to just maybe like put stuff on racks, you know what I mean? Dark Side of the Bear. Yeah, I meant to the guy who lost his child, but dude, that's terrible too. Oh, I didn't realize someone lost their kid. Oh, you're talking about Weston Price. Yeah. Dude, it's some of these guys, people lose children and it drives them to do either lots of good in their life or lots of evil. I think Charles Darwin also lost a child. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think he did, and that's what promoted him. Or maybe it was Nietzsche. Which one was it? Either way, I'm not a big fan of either one of those guys. But one of those guys lost a child, and it drove them to basically, like, push a bunch of horse shit. Like, be mad at the world, you know? Not believe in God, stuff like that. Dark Side of the Bear. Oh my god, yeah, you can die from the bends. Yeah, exactly. Hanma Yuhiro used to have metal alloyed crowns, have extreme knee pain and inflamed lymph nodes. It went away once I got ceramics instead. Yeah, I think, thank the Lord, my dentist knew about this stuff, and I got my root canal replaced at the right time to where I think there was enough people having issues with this shit to where my dentist didn't even ask me. He was just like, we're throwing ceramics in there. I believe it's like ceramic with porcelain on the outside. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dark Side of the Bear. That's crazy, dude. Well, what is it? What was it called that shows what your teeth are connected to? It's called the Teeth Meridian chart. Maybe I can link a video for you guys. Let's see. It's super fascinating. Just do a DuckDuckGo image search of tooth meridian chart. Here's a quick video. Hang on. Alright, here you go. Hey, let's just watch it. Let's watch it together, guys. Alright, we're going to watch a little teeth meridian chart because this stuff is awesome.
Tooth is associated with organ in the body. Pain in each tooth predict problems in certain organs. Keep in mind. Please subscribe, click the bell and watch this video until the end to know the complete information. The teeth are the hardest structures in the body and every tooth is related to an aspect of your body and every tooth relates to emotions in the body. To be honest with you, I really think that you'll be amazed when we tell you that even the slightest damage to the tooth is a problem related with an organ in your body. The relationship between teeth and organs is so strong that an experienced holistic dentist can determine your dental history strictly by examining your past and present physical symptoms. He can also examine your teeth and suggest which of your organs might be at risk from certain conditions. For example, the forefront teeth are related to the sinus and kidneys, while the sharper teeth on either side connect straight to the eyes and liver. This means that when a tooth suffers damage, the corresponding body organ might suffer as well. The opposite can also true. When a body organ suffers, it has the potential to cause pain and suffering in its corresponding tooth. But, don't get us wrong, not always internal diseases are accompanied by damage to the teeth. Viewing health problems within the larger context of full body health can be a true lifesaver. Here's what you need to know. Pain in the upper and lower incisors can indicate kidney, bladder, and ear infections. They may also signal problems with the lymphatic system and reproductive organs. Molar pain can indicate anemia, stomach and intestinal ulcers, chronic gastritis, inflammation of the stomach lining, hemorrhoids, bladder infections, breast health, rheumatism, and chronic inflammation of the pancreas. Wisdom teeth, on the other hand, connect to the central nervous system, heart, liver, and intestines. They can also signal high blood pressure, eczema, headache, liver disease, pain in the extremities, and cardiovascular disease. The previous connections can be further refined to a particular tooth and illness. Pain in the first incisor can be a sign of a prostate or tonsil infection. Chronic pain in the canine teeth can be a sign of inflammation of the liver or gallbladder. Pain in the fourth teeth, top and bottom, May indicate joint pain and joint disease, like arthritis, also tied to the lungs and large intestine. Bottom canine teeth correspond to the circulatory system, and pain can be a sign of atherosclerosis or lung dysfunction. Pain in the lower molars can indicate varicose veins, polyps in the colon, and respiratory illness like bronchitis, pneumonia, and asthma. And you should know that if you have problems with your wisdom teeth, you should be worried, because they're related with coronary heart disease, congenital defect, and other cardiac diseases.
There you go. Pretty fascinating, eh? And then you can take it further and look up, how like the fourth molar is linked with breast cancer, and it's a nightmare, dude. Well, you just gotta eat healthy, and you don't have to worry about that stuff. That's the good thing. We're not pushing fear and despair here, guys. It's like we have the solution is right here. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not gonna push fear and despair that doesn't have this as the solution right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. I hate Martin O'Donnell. Oh my God, it's robot voice. I don't understand why people do that robot voice stuff. Matt F., I wonder if the teeth and eyes are congruent with each other for determining body health. What do you mean congruent by that? I know that, iridology is 100% legit. Eat raw meat. This video proves that specialist doctors are a big scam because everything in the body is connected. Exactly. That does prove that, doesn't it? Man. That's amazing. Don't you ever wonder what doctors think about when they watch stuff like this, or they see like Aajonus' teachings? What are they thinking? You know what I mean? Are they thinking like, oh, that's bullshit? Are they just, that programming, is that blocking them from seeing properly? Or do you think some doctors actually believe in this stuff that we believe in, the truth? Patchy, I always had terrible eyesight, legally need to wear glasses to drive. Rub some raw egg white in your eyes, man. Do it every day. Your eyes might get better. But you got to work at it, man. It took me working on this diet every freaking day for like a year and a half. I spent hours researching this shit every day, guys. Hours and hours and hours. That's why I tell people, like, I'm going to sound arrogant, so I'm not going to say that, but I'm just like way freaking ahead of most people on this. So I'm like, who would you trust? You know what I mean? Somebody that's been brainwashed by medical literature, or someone that's actually done their own research and experiments for like almost 2 years every single day. You know what I mean? Wolfshan's opinion on raw onions. I don't know. It doesn't seem legit. It seems a little toxic by the way they taste, It's probably a good spice. I don't know how healthy it is for you. Yeah, Apache says, I've heard they're bad because they're antibacterial and kill microbes in your stomach. Yeah, I think anything that's spicy, guys, is killing stuff because bacteria can't survive, Handmount you hero. Usually ceramic crowns are fully so. Terms ceramic and porcelain are used interchangeably in dentistry. Two material crowns are metal on the inside and porcelain on the outside. Gotcha. Mine must be fully ceramic then. Yeah. I know 100% that it said ceramic like on the bill, and that's why it was like $2,500 for fucking 2 teeth. Dark Side of the Bear says, no, I think sometimes special doctors are necessary, specific diseases like cancer and whatnot. you're probably the only person in this whole chat room that believes in modern medicine. So just to give you a heads up on that, you're probably going to meet a lot of resistance here promoting any kind of doctor period, because it'll probably sound crazy, but we're all against that shit, because we realize that they just kind of butcher people up. And you got to study old Aajonus.online, dark side. He's the guy that will unbrainwash you from all that stuff. Bradley David Good, the problem with doctors is pride and ego. Can't get past thinking that they know more because of the schooling and are better than you. That is the problem, absolutely. It's ego, man. They're afraid to listen to you, you know. They think, what the hell does some YouTuber know? Like, the problem with doctors could be that they don't believe in God, and they don't believe God can create somebody, you know, that would know more than them just by studying for 2 years, you know. Well, I've been studying nutrition for 15 years, so, you know, you can tell Mr. Frank Tufano that's 6-year carnivore, blah, blah, blah. I've been studying for 15 years, buddy. So, you know, I don't make videos bragging about that shit, though. It's like, I think it's pretty obvious and just what I know about nutrition that I've been studying this stuff for a long time, man. So, but I've been studying specifically this raw thing for about 2 years. But I wouldn't know all this stuff I would know now without knowing everything I knew before that about proteins and, you know, about weightlifting and cardio and just all that stuff. Matt F says, what I mean by congruent is that iridology matches up with what this tooth video showed. For example, your eyes say your pancreas is not healthy and the teeth also, oh, yeah. Maybe. That'd be a good experiment. Dr. Side of the Bear says, that's okay, I don't mind. I'm not a doctor, but I don't blame you. Yeah, it's okay. We don't blame you for believing in doctors either, Dark Side, because we all believed in doctors for like 30 years too. So we're not going to yell at you for it. It's like, you know, maybe just sit back and watch some streams and you might learn something. Patchy, cancer can be cured and reversed if caught early by simply eating right and getting away from pollution. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, the thing about cancer is that people, they panic. And it's all about fear. You start to panic, and then, you know, you go blah, blah, blah. Dark Side of the Bear says, LOL, I'm not brainwashed. I'm open to discourse. We're all brainwashed to a certain point. I'm probably still brainwashed on some shit. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. It's just we're all brainwashed in a certain way. I think, you know. Blah, blah, blah. Dark Side, you just said like a minute ago you knew more. But yeah, there are doctors that believe in God. And yeah, dude, there are degrees for dietitian and stuff. There's another guy too. I will find him because I think you would like him. I'm not offended, just hard to talk and type, for sure. Yeah, I'm just trying to get you red pilled as quick as possible. Because I haven't seen you on too many streams, so it's... I don't know how much you know about Aajonus.online, Dark Side, but that would be, if you haven't studied him, that would be a good guy to look into, because he's one of the only people in the world telling the truth about this stuff. Spheria, what's up? Spheria in the house. What's going on, man? Spheria says, I almost died without your streams. Hey, man, that's very flattering, my friend. How you doing, buddy? Hey, I found that I also digest A2 milk slightly better than A1, man. So, exactly. Onto it. Martin O'Donnell says, I'm not sold on iridology. I don't know enough about it to tell you if it's 100% accurate, what we know now, but it seems like pretty damn legit. Because, like, how else would you get, like, those spots in your eye and stuff like that, you know? And the fact that the meridian chart seems, like, really obvious, the teeth meridian thing. So it would make sense that, I don't understand the full physiology of the eyeball and everything, but from what I know, the eyeball has, like, millions of nerves that connect to your entire nervous system. So that's how the iridology thing works, is it's like your nerves and blood vessels, it connects to everything in your whole body like little cords, you know? Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Dark Side of the Bear, we used to talk back in the day before I got banned. Yeah, I remember you were always on JLP streams, right? Javier Vargas, you two should live stream together. Oh yeah, I'm gonna, I'm gonna get a hold of Gatis one of these days, and we're gonna have to do a talk for sure. I think that would be awesome. Patchy, you didn't catch the coronavirus. Patchy's trolling today. Wolfshanch, I think there definitely is something about herbs. Aajonus' next step was looking into herbs. That's what he said himself. Also, Li Ching Wen was supposed to live 180 years. He did herbs and Qigong. Maybe. You gotta always keep an open mind, guys. Can't be dogmatic, as people say. Don't be dogmatic. People love using that word. Lost Media, I got 8 pounds of raw beef fat from Whole Foods yesterday. The vegans were pissed. Yeah. You mean vegan foods? Whole Foods is such a joke, dude. Whole Foods is such a joke that the butcher from Whole Foods sent me to a farmer. Like you know what I mean? Like he actually knew me from my channel, which was really interesting. Because I told one of the other butchers that I did a channel, and he told him, and he was like, yeah, I watched a couple of your videos, man. That was strange. And he just sent me to a farmer. Like, even the guys at Whole Foods knows it's bullshit, guys. And Aajonus talked mad shit about Whole Foods. Like, he was warning everybody a long time ago. Apparently they were, like, legit at the very beginning, and then they just, they sold out, basically. And if you go in there and look around, I've had conversations with the people in there, and I'm like, they don't even have A2 milk, you know? They don't have pasteurized A2. All they have is raw cheese, you know what I mean? There's no raw butter. I couldn't find any organic liver or anything like that. Wolfshange. Qigong? I'm gonna guess that's Qigong. Qigong is daily practice of breathing exercises, body posture, meditation, and combat sport. Interesting. My friend gave me a book on the Iceman, Wim Hof. Actually, the guy that I introduced to raw meat and raw milk, it was really cool. I gave him Aajonus' book, and then he gave me Wim Hof's book. So I'm going to be looking into like breathing exercise. Cryo plants are medicine and animals are food, I've heard. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that goes for like cannabis and marijuana too, man. We're not supposed to be like taking bong hits of weed all day and stuff. Hanma Yuhiro, Natural Human died. I always wondered how Aajonus died. There is so much controversy around it. Yeah, he fell from a deck. You know how nowadays everybody's into conspiracies and shit, and I honestly just believe his deck was probably shitty, man. So I wouldn't look too far into that, but it's possible it got sabotaged too. Here's the thing. We'll never know. None of us were there. We'll never know. Dark side of the bear, similar with your feet too. There are insane amounts of nerves running through them too. That's, yeah, interesting. Javier Vargas, I've had issues with my kidney stones and my irises have darker crevices on the supposed area that connects the kidneys. There you go. Dark side of the bear, yep, you were carnivore diet before, right? Yep, that was carnivore life for sure. And then I had to change my name once I started eating fruit. And then it's a good thing I changed my name too, because like after that I started waking up to the whole like how the carnivore thing is just such a freaking joke. And then I woke up to the whole concept of false binaries, where the media pushes false binaries to get people to war against each other. And you know, whether it's like black versus white people, vegans versus carnivores, Jews versus Christians, Christians versus Muslims, Americans versus Mexicans, you know what I mean? All of these false binaries that don't exist outside of the media. And carnivore versus vegan is one of those binaries, guys. Vegans represent like 0.1% of the population. What the hell are you guys worried about? You know what I mean? Like, unless you've had this happen to you, like let's say got this, right? Let's say unless you've had this happen directly to you and you have like a personal interest in like protecting people from what happened to you, then there's no sense in jumping in a war that's essentially been created. It's just, it's a false binary, guys. Sveria says there's no frost or real winter in Europe, in the Netherlands and Germany so far this year, even though it should be snowing and all day by now. Huh. Yeah. Sveria says, what do you think about climate change? I think it's probably horse shit on a grand scheme. I think obviously on a micro scale, there's obviously climate changes because there's like season changes. But I don't really think what the media is pushing is correct. You can almost guarantee if it's coming from the media and you're not observing it, you know, with your own eyes, then it's probably fake. We've had a pretty warm winter too, but I think that's pretty natural for the earth to do that, to just have different kinds of seasons that go in different cycles, you know what I mean? But the reason I don't believe in what the media is pushing about climate change is because they want you to be freaked out about it, right? And the other reason that you can't believe in climate change is because none of the financial investors or bankers are selling their beachfront properties. Think about that. If climate change was real, then all of the financial people and bankers would sell all of their beachfront property because of flooding. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's doing that. Think about that. We've had a really mild winter here in Nebraska too, guys, even though we have like tons of snow on the ground as we speak, but it went all the way into January this year without any snow. And it was like warm as hell last month. Eat raw meat says could be could be man-made though, chemtrails or other stuff we don't know about. Yeah, there's also cloud seeding. You guys know about cloud seeding, right? Where they like experimented with like pumping aluminum up into the clouds and it makes it rain. Look up that shit. I haven't heard anybody talk about cloud seeding. Dark side. Oh, but can you post a link to that other dude? I don't have the first clue how to spell his name. Aajonus. No problem. Got you. I'm gonna hook you up with the Aajonus archive. All right, the best place to start, dark side, on this link is on like the radio interviews. That's going to be probably the good place to start because it's like a nice back and forth conversation. There's like 1,000 videos on there, but look for the radio interviews. That is like a good intro to Aajonus. Javier Vargas, well, just like transgenderism, gayism, faddism, and all that jazz, veganism is described as being cool by the people who run the money, so it keeps getting more and more profitable. Yeah. It's like hip to save the animals, man. Dark side of the bear, climate change is caused by cow farts. Right, exactly. We all know that's a lie. Meteor Man, Whole Foods gets all the vegan shoppers, so when I wore my Go Vegan and Die shortfall, the employees that it was awesome because they know how annoying vegans are. Yeah, most people do. It's pretty funny. Javier Vargas, Oklahoma's the same, only one snowy day. Yeah, we just had a couple storms, that's it. Just another, does raw milk have a date on it? Expiry date, anyone know? About 2 weeks it'll start turning. It's not gonna rot, but it'll start like clabbering up and stuff, so you know. I'd say 2 weeks is a good one. Dark Side of the Bear, I'll definitely be back. Cool seeing you again, dude. I'll be back on YouTube more. LMAO was kind of salty after being banned. Who banned you? How'd you get banned? I know you were always making like pretty damn funny jokes on JLP. Pretty controversial jokes, but they're funny as hell. I think Snow asks, I think climate change is a BS thing to get people focused away from the real problem. We're about to have 5G. Maybe, maybe not. Come on, guys. I mean, if you move out in the country, are you really going to have a 5G problem? Come on. You know? Hardwire your freaking internet, man. Stop using Wi-Fi. I hardwired my internet like over a year ago. There's no Wi-Fi in my house. Just turn your Wi-Fi off. You'll be fine. You know? It's the whole 5G thing is another stupid way to get you freaked out about something you have no control over, you know? They're talking about people that live in like high-rise apartment complexes with like cell phone towers glued to the side of their apartment with Wi-Fi in every single apartment blasting radiation. You know, it's like, yeah, there might be something true to that, but what the hell are you doing living in a high-rise apartment with cell phone towers and pollution everywhere? Get out in the freaking country, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all this stuff can be avoided by just living like a simple natural life. Eat raw meat. Love me some raw bat soup right now. Oh man, you always make me laugh, dude. Raw bat soup? That's so funny. Ben I am. Hey from Thailand, how you been doing? I've been great, man. I've been good. Never felt better. Especially for the middle of the winter, you know? Usually I feel like I'm dying in the wintertime a little bit, but this diet's got me just fired up, man. Not this diet, just life in general. It's going great. Things are going great at work, saving up some money. You know, things are looking pretty positive in the next couple years. Maybe in the next year, possibly, to buy a house, some land, something along those lines. Luna DC, raw ghee. Yeah, people are asking about ghee. Yeah, I can't exactly. Isn't that an oxymoron? That's like jumbo shrimp. It's an oxymoron. Ghee sounds like something that Whole Foods would sell. Just get your Whole Foods ghee.
Hey, buddy. What's up, doggy? You good boy?
Dark Side of the Bear says YouTube banned me. LMAO. Really? Never told me what for. No shit. So why didn't you just like start a new email? Did they ban your IP? Or why didn't you just like start a new account? I don't understand. And how did they ban you? Like what did it say? I'm really curious. Dark Side of the Bear works so much better too to hardwire. Oh yeah. That's why my streams are just like flawless, because it's all Ethernet. And I have like the most basic internet package, just like it's shit. Luna DC says, "What's up? Hey, how you doing? Good to see y'all." Powerful being, what about wireless internet? I wouldn't run it in your house. LA111 hardwire, what do you mean? Just run an Ethernet cable. Just run an actual physical Ethernet cable from your router to your computer, and then go into your router settings. If you have a Wi-Fi router, figure out how to go into your router settings on a web page on like Chrome, and then disable your Wi-Fi signal. I swear you sleep better too. I don't know if it's psychosomatic. You never know if it's like placebo or psychosomatic, but I noticed that I was at like more peace in the morning time. Like I got like a better rest when I didn't have Wi-Fi going all night long. So who knows, man? Could be imagination, but I almost noticed it right away when I started turning off my Wi-Fi in my house. Dark Side says, LOL, what's funny about that is my son calls Kool-Aid Juulaid. Brain cells, what's the benefit of raw cream? Raw cream nourishes your nervous system. It's very good for your brain. Hard to digest, though. UI says, raw bat soup sounds amazing. Yeah. Wolf Shan says, I'm living with roommates. Yeah. See, I lived in an apartment for about 4 years, and I was never unhealthier in my life than I was living in that apartment, man. And I had Wi-Fi just blasting up and down through everywhere. Luckily, I was always on the top, so I was like not in the middle, which is the worst. Gam says, my mom doesn't let me eat raw meat. She just about let me drink raw milk after I gave her a 3-hour speech. You don't need your mom's permission to eat raw meat, dude. I mean, just go in your room and eat raw meat. What does she watch you all day long? You know? Snow Ass, Natural Human Diet. What's your email? I'll email you like 10 studies of the harmful effects of millimeter microwaves. All right, I'll check it out. I'm open to it. I've seen some stuff on that already, and I will admit already that I'm very skeptical of studies, period, because they're usually done by brainwashed scientists, but here's my email. And like I said, I'm not disputing the fact that 5G might be harmful in studies. I'm disputing the fact that it's going to affect everybody and kill everybody, because if you live in the country, what do you got to worry about? Dark Side of the Bear. I did start a new channel, but I can't live stream. It's all connected through your Gmail and whatnot, so I had to make the new email. It's actually banned. Oh, I didn't know you were like streaming and stuff. I didn't know you had an actual channel. I thought, interesting. I thought you were just here to make jokes. That sucks. Yeah, they've been kind of messing with me too, but I got duped by some fake emails. So I got some fake emails, some phishing emails, and they told me that I had spam videos on my channel. So that's why I removed all my videos. It's kind of messed up, but I wanted to honestly remove all my old videos anyways, because that was like the whole carnivore life thing that I was doing. And this is like kind of a whole new channel. This is like the natural human diet. I'm eating different types of stuff now. I'm eating more like fruit and stuff in the summer and spring. And I feel like I'm a different person now than when I was starting out the Carnivore channel. So that's why I started the Natural Human Diet Archive, which is my backup channel in case this one blows up. But also it has all my old stuff, and it's kind of just like the videos of me kind of like growing into this new diet. And I didn't want those videos on this channel anymore, really, because I was like figuring things out as I go along, and I didn't want to confuse people in case they watched an old video where I was like, yeah, butter, I don't like butter or something, you know what I mean? So I went through a lot of like learning phases in this diet, and now I feel like I'm actually like getting to the point to where I'm like confident in what I'm saying, you know? So, and I'm gonna be doing mostly live streams now. Every once in a while, I'll make some like specialty videos, like the high meat video, and my banned raw milk video and stuff like that. But there's a lot of work goes into those videos. Like I have to sit down and I actually write it all out. I type it all out. So I type everything out, and then I speak it into the video, and then I have to find like images to match it and stuff. So it's not easy to make those videos, but I think they kind of complement the live streams pretty well. So going forward, that's kind of what you can expect from this channel, is a lot more live streams, a lot more interacting with people, and just kind of like, I learned so much from these live streams, like more than anything. And then I'll sprinkle in some of those like specialty videos. Like the next one I'm working on, I haven't started yet, but it's going to be on pasteurization, and it's going to be basically all about how Louis Pasteur and how he just like ruined our food supply. Because there's not too many hit videos on Louis Pasteur, and there should be. That guy was kind of a piece of shit. Maybe he didn't know it, but I don't think he was trying to be that way, but he ended up being kind of a piece. Snow says 26,000 scientists have signed an appeal to stop the rollout of 5G. It's not BS, thanks. Let me guess, did you read that from the media? Or is that something you just like observed on your own? Like my whole thing is, Snow is like, I'm not trying to argue with you about this stuff. I'm not trying to really believe what anybody tells me anymore, and I'm trying to just believe only what I observe with my own eyes. I really feel like that's the only way that you can learn things, you know what I mean? And yeah, I did feel like I slept a little better when I turned my Wi-Fi off, and I only had like probably 3G or something like that going. I think it's 3G, right? But like I said, like the whole objective in life is to not be scared of stuff. It's to focus on, the objective is not to push fear and despair. The objective here with my channel is to push solutions. And the solutions are start eating these raw animal foods and get your ass out in the country, and you won't have to worry about this stuff. Ricky Burger, just put in a load of laundry with your laundry formula you posted. Thank you for the great idea. You're welcome. Yeah, you'll probably find out it works pretty damn good. Like, I did have an issue though with like my rags, like my dish towels, because sometimes I wipe up like blood and stuff like, or not blood, but I guess, is it hemoglobin or myoglobin? Like myoglobin from like draining out of like meat bags and stuff. Sometimes that really like soils my towels, and then when I do like a load of towels, I do actually use chemicals on that. I'll use like Tide on that. So just a heads up, FYI. You may not want to do that or not, but if you do like dirty towel rags, I don't think there's anything wrong with using Tide on that. But the only issue is you might have some residual leftover Tide in your washer for when you do your clothes. So, I don't know, but I'm glad it worked. Yeah. And I just figured I would post that. I haven't talked about really any of that stuff on my live streams, like just how I'm making my own laundry formula and stuff like that. But it's the way to go. Bradley David, good. Can we see a picture of you from 5 years ago? Man, I'm not a big like picture guy. I've always hated pictures. So you're not going to find a lot of pictures of me, period, anywhere. 5 years ago, I have a picture of me from like 13 years ago that I could probably show you guys. I was pretty freaking ripped too. Like I was in really good shape, but I don't have that many pictures, man. Like I wasn't one of those guys that got on Facebook and like posted a bunch of pictures of myself. I've pretty much always been, the same. Like I'm a Sigma male. I'm not really into social status. I'm not into playing those games and stuff. So I'm not really into like photographing myself and whatever, all of that stuff. But if I can find something, man, I'll post it up. One of these days I'll show you guys a picture of me from 13 years ago though, but it's not really, I pretty much look the exact same. I mean, I look almost identical to what I do now. But there was a time, you know what, man? Maybe I'll try to get into, one of these days I'll get into like my brother's Facebook account, because I think my brother might have some old pictures of me. And yeah, so he's got some pictures of me at his wedding, and that was like, shit, when was that? That might have been like 7 years ago. So if I can track down my brother's wedding photos, I can show you some pics. Wolf Shams, yeah, the laundry formula is awesome. Yeah, it just makes sense, man. Like, why would you go on this diet and then just dunk your clothes in chemicals every day, you know? Eat raw meat. I can hear drunk guys screaming outside the wonders of alcohol. Oh, dude. Is there anything worse than being in a room full of drunk people when you're not drunk? There's like nothing more annoying. Snow asks 4G and below is 6 gigahertz and below. 28 gigahertz towers means we'll be hit with 24 billion more times radiation per second than towers emitting 4 gigahertz waves. It's way worse. According to what and who, though? You know what I mean? Like, it's way worse. You're saying it's way worse, but that's still like not enough evidence for me to believe you just because you said that. You know what I mean? So who did they do these studies on? Were they doing radiation studies on people on the standard American diet? Were they doing radiation studies on people on a raw primal diet? Does radiation affect people on the standard American diet the same as it affects people on the raw primal diet? Does this radiation affect people 50 miles outside of the city? Does this radiation affect people 100 miles outside of the city? You know what I mean? There's like so many variables that I would just be careful about spreading that kind of fear and despair around the world to everybody and act like it's everybody's problem when it really could just be only like specific people's problems, like people that live inside of like cities. And we all know that just everybody knows that already anyways. Everybody knows already that living inside of cities is bad for you anyways. So just adding 5G on top of it it's not really like mind-blowing news. You know what I mean? There's already so much shitty radiation, like pollution and maybe a little bit of radiation too, but mostly just pollution and noise and just the air quality is terrible. There's like lung diseases linked specifically with people that live within 10-20 miles of major highways and stuff like that. Luna DC says, someone's got a crush on you, I think. Yeah, maybe. I hope so. I think so too, Luna. Someone does. Somebody, maybe. Snow asks, and the president of the FCC said in 2017, said they won't do any studies on it. He knows what they're going to find. They've already found terrible effects from millimeter waves in the studies in the 1900s. Right. I mean, I'm not disputing what you're saying there, but I'm saying, can you extrapolate that data and say that it's going to affect everybody in the whole world? You know what I mean? Or is it only going to affect people within certain distances, you know? Eat raw meat, show the beard picture. Oh yeah, my beard. It wasn't like my beard. I'm not one of those guys that like grows like a long beard like that, like one of those like long beards. My beard is like extremely thick and just like it's insane, dude. But that's also I think like on my brother's Facebook and stuff like that. I always hated seeing myself in pictures for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I never like smiled right, and like my brother always said that I would ruin pictures because like I was never the guy that could like naturally smile and stuff. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's because I wasn't having fun, but who knows. But I will dig up some photos sometime and get you guys some stuff. It would probably be more interesting to show you guys a picture of me when I was like 10 years old and show you how different my eyes looked when I was 10. Roger Smith, hey man, how was the Wagyu? Oh, so good, man. So good. Patchy, you look like you'd grow a gnarly beard. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Really, really thick and wiry and black. Pretty gnarly, man. Snow ass, I'm moving away from LA. Well, fucking that's your problem, dude. No wonder you're freaking out about this shit. See, I'm living in Nebraska, and it's just like, I really don't think we're going to be affected as bad as you in LA. So, it's like, I think that you have a way bigger problem than we do. You know what I'm saying? And so you probably maybe have a legitimate reason to freak out. I'm not sure. But I can almost guarantee you that this type of shit they're talking about isn't going to affect people in the country. You can't even get a fucking cell phone signal in the country, dude. So how is 5G going to mess people up in the country when, you drive down I-80 through Nebraska and for like half of it, sometimes you don't even get like a signal. You know what I mean? There's like miles and miles and miles and miles you can't get a signal. Patchy says you should grow it out. I might do that, maybe. Yeah. I might grow out my beard. We'll see. I kind of like the stubbly look a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. It's that like awkward phase that I hate, when you're like in between. Tester, do you eat sushi? No, because I don't eat really rice or anything like that. But I used to eat tons of sushi before I got on this raw diet. I'm going to go let my dogs out real quick, guys. Excuse me for a moment. You guys want to go outside? Eat raw meat says drunk women are worse than drunk men. It definitely amplifies their emotions like crazy. Hanima Hero put liquid citric acid on any stain and get some baking soda on it. Gets rid of almost everything. Interesting. Luna DC says drunk women are intoxicated. I agree. Yeah, I don't think I've ever picked up a drunk woman in my life. I was never attracted to that. Otis 8, only alcohol I like is wine and pina coladas. I love red wine. Good stuff. I haven't drank in a long time though. Like over probably a couple years. I think I had like a few glasses of wine a couple years ago, and then it was like a year before that I drank. So I've only had like 3 glasses of wine in like 2 or 3 years probably. P. Miller, 5G, moon landing, flat earth, chemtrails are all designed to distract you from the real conspiracy, diet. Exactly. Correct your diet first and then see how much you give a shit about 5G and climate change and flat earth. You'll just see it's like, you'll be like, who fucking cares? I'm sitting over here eating like the food of the gods. Like, why would I worry about radiation? You know what I mean? If it's going to kill you, it's going to kill you anyways, right? There's nothing you can do about it. Like, you're talking about the government and stuff like that. We can't, I mean, some of you guys may disagree with me on this, but you can't control the government. They control you. So, you know, the best thing you can do to get away from the government is get out, get your own land, get your own animals, start your own family. And the government can't really do anything about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the government can't force vaccinate you if you live out in the country and homeschool your kids. You guys can avoid all of this shit by just getting your own land, homeschooling your kids, all that shit. You don't have to worry about any of the government influencing you, for the most part. All you gotta do is pay your taxes, man. Snow asks, what is entropy? I have no idea. I've heard that word, though. Bradley David Good, lots of us can't just move to the country. My work is near cities. Take a drive, man. I know tons of people that drive 70 miles to work every day. Depends on how bad you want it, man. Chili to go, so that the enemy starts to feel lazy, bad, and wants to surrender. In my opinion, 5G will be the first step of all implementation into the human. UI. I've grown out all my hair and I like it. Never used to for the rest of my life, but it's good once you get past the awkward phase. Yeah, I've had, when I was a kid, I had long hair down to my shoulders, and I'd love to grow it out again like that. It's just, it's not necessarily like in style, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't, there's not too many, you gotta kind of, I don't know. I'm gonna sound shallow by saying that, but you kind of somewhat have to like stay in the style a little bit too. You know, you don't want to just go full caveman. You know what I mean? But I'm actually gonna experiment with growing my hair out a little bit more lately, because every time I get my hair cut, she just butchers my freaking hair, man. It looks me look like a prison convict. So this is like, you see how short my hair is now? This is like grown out for like 3 weeks or a month. So I'm gonna go in there next time for my haircut and just tell her like, just freaking take like a 1/4 inch off so I can actually like grow my hair out and stuff. You know what I mean? That's another thing that I think they're trying to do, is they're trying to like cut all your hair off because it helps you become like more sensitive, because it's an extension of your nervous system. So every time you go get a haircut, or guys go get haircuts, they just like buzz you down like a military cut. It's weird. At least in America, seems like that's happening. Snow asks, they're only going to put millimeter waves in bigger cities and surrounding towns, I think, because it doesn't travel very far. So rural areas would be good to move to. Yeah, that's the idea, man. Definitely moving to rural areas, you know. Dark Side of the Bear says I'm the same way with alcohol. That's good. Alcohol, it's the reason they call it spirits, guys. I think alcohol makes spirits inhabit your body. I really do believe that. The older I get and the more I understand that like your spirits can make a home inside of your body, it explains a lot of this weird behavior that people go through, and just weird character changes. And like when you see drunk people, they turn into something else, you know. Eat Raw, I mean, I didn't have a drop of alcohol since April 2014. Shit is nasty. Hey man, it doesn't surprise me that a lot of us don't drink alcohol. It's 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, you know what I'm saying? And we're all just sitting here talking about food. Dark Side of the Bear says, regardless, I got out of the shower. Yes, I still do stream. I'm mostly on Twitch and D Live. Still watch JLP2. Awesome. Wolf Shange, I don't mind being filmed, but I don't like being photographed. That's what it is. Yeah. I don't like being photographed, but being filmed is okay. But a photograph is just, it's like not enough evidence to show what's going on, you know? Alex, when did you become Christian? I started waking up to God. I don't necessarily follow religion per se, but I started waking up to God, and I guess you could say the teachings of Jesus Christ about last year. And Jesse Lee Peterson really helped me along with that. Kind of like helped fine tune my direction in a sense. But within the last couple of years, you know, Bradley David Good, I totally hate long commutes, plus it leaves no time for enjoying nature after work draining. I love driving, so I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on the person you are. If you don't like driving, then yeah, you're going to be probably stuck in the city, man. But I personally, I have no issues driving. I got family in Colorado, and I drive out there all the time. P. Miller, super short hair is associated with docility. Yeah, exactly. That's what I started realizing. I was like, this freaking lady is like, man, I had it happen so many times that, I don't know. It happened so many times to me that I was just like, are these people doing this on purpose? You know what I mean? Adabeth, why do you think ingesting mushrooms is okay, but not marijuana? I never said ingesting marijuana was not okay, but I do believe they're probably both medicinal. So I think psychedelics like mushrooms are for spiritually sick people. And marijuana is also, I think, for sick people, you know? And I think that's why people are drawn to stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But I guess the difference, I can only speak from my experiences, Adabeth, you know? And they're both very complicated substances, and neither one of them are inherently evil or bad. But it's the way that Western civilization is utilizing them and abusing them that's making it bad. We're not supposed to be taking dabs and 6-foot bong hits of weed, you know. If anything, we were meant to probably eat it when we were sick, or maybe eat it in some tribal ceremony. Who knows what the culture was back then. And same thing with mushrooms. They grow naturally in the wild. There's no way that they're evil. It's impossible. It's a creation of God. He wouldn't make something evil like that available for us. That is so freaking fun to do. Like, quite possibly the funnest thing you could ever do in your life. He wouldn't make that like evil and bad for you. And I can only speak from my experiences. I had nothing but amazing experiences eating mushrooms. And I've basically had somewhat of a shitty experience with cannabis. So that's all I can really say. It's just, you know, and I know a lot of people that feel the same way. Patchy, I read somewhere that hair is an extension of the central nervous system. Yes, I agree. Makes a lot of sense. That's why cats are so in tune, and dogs. Uh-oh. Raw meat says marijuana enemas. Snow Ass says eating weed is so much better than smoking it. Yeah, I don't think we were meant to smoke it, guys. I don't think we were meant to vaporize it. You weren't meant to smoke it. Aajonus recommended, if you were to use cannabis, eat a small raw piece of flour with a piece of raw cheese. That way you can absorb any kind of toxins or pesticides on the plant. But if you're growing it yourself, you shouldn't have that issue. do what you want. We're all adults. You know what I mean? It's like, but the problem is they're pushing this shit, you know, to children and stuff like that. It's kind of messed up. Dark Side of the Bear says, love shrooms. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you couldn't. They're pretty awesome. But I don't think you should do them until you're like a full-grown adult, like at least 25 to 30 years old. Because, and you shouldn't be doing stuff like shrooms and LSD and stuff. Well, you shouldn't do LSD, period. But you shouldn't do stuff like shrooms at like concerts and raves and bars and stuff like that. That's not the way they're, it's like, these are very, very powerful substances, extremely powerful. And they're supposed to be respected and used as a sacrament, you know? I really believe that. Eat raw meat says those mushrooms just grow in the grass here, right? Yeah, exactly. It's pretty obvious that God was like placing them here for us for a reason. And when you see like, when you look at like the Aztecs and the Mayans and stuff like that, those guys were eating tons of mushrooms, man. And like, you know, but they were respecting them and they were using them in nature and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's such a hard concept to understand. And I don't promote drugs, you know, I don't like to push drugs, or whatever. But if someone asks me about mushrooms, like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, you shouldn't do them. They're fucking bad for you. Like, I've had nothing but awesome experiences. That's all I can tell you. But I was also doing them by myself in the dark. So some people call it the shamanic way. I think Terrence McKenna is the one that coined that term. So I don't know if there's only certain kinds of people that are meant to do it that way, that get the experiences that I got. The experiences that I got from mushrooms are almost inarticulatable, and they hardly match anybody else's experiences. Like, the stuff that I experienced was very, very different than what most people experience on mushrooms. So that's why I don't like to promote them. When I first did them all the time and I had all these experiences, I was like, oh, you guys got to try this shit. It's so awesome. And then I realized, I was like, I don't think everybody's getting these same experiences that I got. So I should really not talk about mushrooms anymore, because I wonder if God brought them into my life for me, for my special experiences, and I should just shut my mouth about it, you know? Because I got a lot of interesting information out of them. UI, that Abraham Rafataj guy who was taught by Aajonus likes to eat weed. Oh yeah. Interesting. That doesn't surprise me. He's in California. Dark Side of the Barrel. Hell nah. Shrooms while in the mountains and with nature quiet. Yeah, that's ideal. Definitely. That's ideal. Definitely. Yeah, I bet it, yeah, very enlightening. Yeah, I bet. Chili 2 Gal, I think that Jesus is or was a mushroom. I thought that for it too after I was doing mushrooms a lot. But, yeah, I don't know, man. The whole Jesus thing is very, very interesting. I don't know what to make of it because I never met the guy. But I do know for a fact that the teachings that the Bible says Jesus taught, those teachings right there are powerful, man. Those are very, very powerful. So you don't have to believe anything in the Bible. You don't even have to believe Jesus existed. But if you just follow those teachings, your life will improve. I'll promise you that. Meteor Man says, I'm eating high cheese right now. So stinky and good. I know it's loaded with bacteria. Isn't that funny? Everybody's out like drinking and smoking weed on a Saturday night, and we're like eating rotten cheese and shit. Eat raw meat, we have THC receptors. So I heard this theory on CBD, and tell me what you guys think of this. So wild hemp used to grow everywhere until they outlawed it and cut it down or whatever. And cows used to eat wild hemp when they would forage for grass, and the CBD would come in through the milk and the meat. So we used to get CBD, allegedly through what I heard in this comment somewhere, through our milk and meat. And once they outlawed hemp, they stopped growing it everywhere. They cut it down. The cows stopped eating it. And now we have a CBD deficiency in our diet, and that's why everybody became potheads. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think of that. Kai Salas, what about 5-MeO-DMT? It's naturally occurring in the venom of the Sonoran desert toad. People collect it and then let it dry, crystallize before using it. I don't think drying and crystallizing stuff is the way that God intended for us to use stuff like that. But maybe if you like lick it, or I don't know. Is that the one where you lick it? I'm not sure. But I'm not a big DMT fan because how do I say this? And some of you guys probably won't believe this if you guys haven't done the amount of mushrooms that I've done. But I've done insanely large amounts of mushrooms at a time. And it takes you straight to the DMT realm. So it's the exact same thing as DMT. It just stretches it out over like 4 to 6 hours. So I don't see a point in licking toads or crystallizing toad venom or drying out acacia bark and synthesizing DMT in your garage when if you just eat 7 grams of mushrooms, which are natural and grow in the ground, and turn your lights off and go in your room, you will go to the DMT realm. You have my word on that, but I don't recommend anybody do that. Just a disclaimer, I don't recommend anybody do that. But if you do it, make sure you're like 25 to 30 years old, because I don't think that is meant for the weak-hearted and the weak-minded and the young people. Most people don't know that. The psilocybin chemical structure has DMT in the chemical structure. So the whole taking bong hits of DMT crystals thing is just a way to get you to do something synthetic in a sense. You know what I mean? Eat raw meat. I want to talk to the clockwork elves and ask them what the fuck is going on here. How did you know they were clockwork elves? Did you see that too? That's exactly what I saw. It was a giant clock inside my wall, and there was a bunch of elves rolling up and down it on like pulleys and shit. What the hell is that? That's funny, man. It's so weird how everybody sees the same shit too. The machine elves, yeah. Dark side of the bear. The way they formulate DMT though is demonic. Make it yourself or just eat the mushrooms. Both are toxins, but one is a cleanse. Yeah, I don't know if the toxins or cleanse thing is accurate. I don't know what they are. I mean, they're so freaking complicated. That's why I hate talking about it. Talking about mushrooms is like, it can be fun, but trying to explain it to people is like trying to explain like God to somebody that doesn't believe in God. It's like English words just totally fail it, man. I just end up sounding like an idiot. Chili to go. I met God on 7G shrooms. Me too, man. Me too. Yeah, exactly. Hero Damon nailed it. DMT to shrooms is like dabs to weed or crack to cocaine. Exactly. Or heroin to poppy. Exactly, man. Meteor Man, do a trippy stream with Bobby's perspective. That's not a bad idea. I might do that. Yeah, I'm not afraid to talk about mushrooms, man. There's people that make you afraid to talk about it. I'll talk about it, but I still, at the same time, I don't like talking about it because I'm actually a much better writer than I am a speaker, an orator, I should say. I'm getting better at it, definitely. But I still feel like words, the English language just completely fails the mushroom experience. P. Miller, Joe Rogan says DMT, don't do DMT, exactly. Luna DC, I can't accept acceptance of the unacceptable. Wolf Shan says, I heard voices and clockwork. Interesting. I started automatic writing one time on mushrooms, and I still have it all. You guys know what automatic writing is? That was like really freaking weird. I also saw music on mushrooms. I saw the music in the air as it was coming out of my speakers. It was like a visual grid, and it was like freaking mind-blowing, dude. Dark Side of the Bear. Yeah, I wouldn't push DMT at all, dude. Oh, man. Just the words DMT, it just sounds no good. UI. Bobby turned Christian from a shroom trip, basically. Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know how to explain it, man. I don't, it's like I went on a bunch of mushroom trips, and then I ended up basically becoming a Christian too. So, and I ended up finding God and all that stuff. So, I hate saying it like that because I don't think that mushrooms bring you to God. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't really know what to make of it all. It's so complicated, But it seems like all I can say is this is what I have observed, and this is what I have also experienced. It seems like a lot of people that go on like heavy psychedelic trips end up finding God shortly afterwards. So it's possible that they found God before that and didn't know it, and that's what led them to I don't know, man. But there's something to that. But I can totally relate, man. Wolf Shans, I need to find more about this clockwork machine elf stuff now. Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird. Very real, too. It seems really real at the time. I also, one time on a shroom trip, all my skin turned a lizard. I turned into a reptile. That was like really freaky. But I could see my skin got amphibious and it was green. And I could see like liquid running underneath my skin. It was really bizarre, man. I used ashwagandha too, guys. Yeah, I remember when I was trying to heal up. UI, psychedelics can lead you to hell, so you see what it's like. I can see that converting people. That's similar to what Bobby experienced. Interesting. Yeah, I just remember when they would hit me, like those like 7 gram ones that I went on. I did that quite a few times, guys. When those would hit me, it was like I remember asking like, "Is this God?" Like out loud, like verbalizing it to the universe, going, "Is this God? Is this God?" Like it just came out of me. It just spontaneously came out of me. And like, keep in mind, guys, before this, I wasn't religious. I wasn't like really Christian. And I wasn't like God was like the furthest thing on my mind. But these psychedelics like spontaneously brought this thing out of me that I didn't know was inside of me. So, and I think I was spiritually sick at the time. So I think somehow like these psychedelics can like just ring your freaking bell so hard that your spirit has no choice other than to just appreciate the beauty of God because you've never seen anything like that before, Hero Damon, the main thing I got from psychedelics was learning new languages really easy. Who else got that? I didn't learn new language easily, but I became much better at speaking. I became much better at finding words, and accessing language. And Terrence McKenna actually said that mushrooms are it's a linguistic type of drug where it accesses your linguistic centers. And so that's why it seems like mushrooms are always communicating to you during the trip. You're always like getting information, you're always learning stuff, because it's a communication, it's a linguistic type thing. And I was much more able to access words and language better through my speaking and through my writing. I remember I was a much better writer after I did mushrooms. So who knows what that's all about? They say sometimes it hyperconnects your neural pathways, and it makes it so you can access different parts of your mind that you couldn't access before. I think that 100% happened to me. I remember a lot of my OCD type tendencies went away after that. So I think it can it can light up certain areas of your brain that have gone dormant. But yeah, I think there's something to that, like the language thing. Like psychedelics is very much like a language-based experience. Patchy, what do you guys recommend for someone who wants to start getting in tune spiritually meditating? I feel like I'm too grounded of a person. Do the silent prayer, man. Eat raw meat, West confirmed lizard. I know, dude. When I started looking into the whole lizard people thing, I was like, damn, was that showing me that I was basically being like influenced by the devil or influenced by like a serpent? And like, it's very possible, man, because I didn't start waking up to God until like a year after that. So Patchy, look up the Silent Prayer by Jesse Peterson. That's like one of the best ways to start out, like getting disconnected from your thoughts. The idea is you want to disconnect from your thoughts because you don't create your thoughts. Once you disconnect from your thoughts, you realize you are not your thoughts. I'll look it up for you here, man. Here it is. This thing's pretty powerful, guys. And it's a little different than what you expect. It's not your typical type of meditation thing. It's really powerful because it helps you disconnect from your thoughts. Pretty profound. Just a sec here, let me get my dogs, guys. Sorry about that. Dogs were whining outside. Hero Damon, I had a friend who had sleep paralysis and would see a serpent all the time. It was all because he was being dishonest with his parents. I helped him get over it by solving things in his waking life. That's great, man. Yeah, when I was doing all those trips and like, turning into a lizard and shit, I was pretty spiritually bankrupt, guys. Like I had some issues going on. So I think God possibly wanted to wake me up that way, and that's the only way. Because I was like so spiritually stubborn and like possibly, who knows, spiritually broken or something, that's the only way I could wake up, was just like an absolutely profound experience, with just me and God for 6 hours straight. Luna DC says, funny, silent prayer, opened it and it was loud as fuck. I had to turn the sound down quickly. Yeah, I didn't. It's funny. Sorry about that. Hero Damon, and he went to sleep on a pre-workout named PEA, which is a precursor to psychedelics. Oh, crazy. No doubt. Luna DC says, I think honestly, I'm just afraid of opening up. Yeah, I was too, for sure. I was too. They do say about mushrooms that like they measure people afterwards and they notice that the one thing, the one quality that most people get out of mushroom trips is they become a more open person. And so I just wonder if maybe that's like doing these like the benefit of doing like the doses that I was doing is that it like opened up my spirit to the good, you know? Like I was kind of closed off too, you know what I mean? Luna DC, I've done it and it can be quite much intense. Yeah, very much, very, very intense. The stuff that I was doing was very, very, very intense, guys. Like extremely intense. Eat raw meat. What do you think of dark retreats? What is that? Martin O'Donnell says, watch The Passion of the Christ on shrooms. Wow, that sounds intense. Interesting. Hey, Liana, I'm sipping on some fresh raw goat milk I got today. Good for you. You lucky. Goat milk is hard to find around here for some reason. We got plenty of cow milk. It's hard to find goat milk. Hero Dam, and the thing with sleep paralysis, you have to look at the things dead in the eye just to keep looking until they leave. Yeah, I've seen, let's see. I've seen like an 8-foot tall shadowy figure with boxy shoulders like that. But the other thing I saw was it was like I saw it like with my mind. I didn't see it with my eyes, but it was like there was a gargoyle on my nightstand, like perched behind me. So that one was like really hard to deal with because I was frozen and it was also behind me. But I knew it was behind me and I could see what it looked like, if that makes sense. It was a really strange experience, man. Total hallucination. Or a demonic I think honestly that's demons visiting you, because I can't write everything off to just like neurological malfunctions anymore, man. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. It all seems like godless science. It's not really integrating the spiritual realm into things, and so yeah, it's like it's weird how you see stuff on sleep paralysis and they just call it like, you know, it's just a neurological thing. Eat raw meat. Anyone else here thinks that time is speeding up? That's a pretty common experience with aging, man. So I think everybody's gonna say that. I asked an old person one time, I said, does time slow down or gets faster as you get older? And he goes, it gets faster. So it definitely speeds up, dude, for sure. Luna DC, I think it might be some sort of subconscious test. Yeah, I think it's a spiritual test. I think it's like a spiritual test, for sure. Hero Demon, my friend beat the paralysis by literally just looking at the snake until it left. There you go. Don't be afraid. Luna DC, I suppose a safe way of strengthening your soul. Yeah, maybe. So people won't be able to attack you. Possibly. I also think, you know what I think it is possibly also, Luna? Is I think it's the devil visiting you in your sleep, which he can do in your dreams as well. I'm sure you guys can all relate to this. Everybody's had nightmares, terrible dreams. I believe that's the devil visiting you, trying to scare you in your dreams. The devil's everywhere, man. He's trying to scare you when you're awake. He's trying to scare you in your dreams. Anything associated with fear, you can 100% guarantee is from the devil. So that's why I believe these sleep paralysis things are demonic. Fundamentally, because I'm convinced that fear is not from God. Fear is from Satan, because it's a mind control, or it's a spiritual control tactic to scare people. Eat raw meat. Dark retreats are where you go in a pitch black dark room house for a certain time, like 1 to 7 days or so. Oh yeah, dude, I would be totally down for that. Cause yeah, in the dark is where you learn, man. That's definitely where you learn. That sounds really interesting. Horatio Washington. Hello, folks. Just got off of work. What's up, man? Late to the party, brother. We're about 3 hours, guys. I'm probably, unfortunately, going to wrap up here in probably about 10 minutes. Heliana, I have had very bad sleep paralysis since I was a child. Interesting. Another thing I was thinking that it might be associated with sleep paralysis and night terrors is gluten. I don't know what you guys think about that. But have any of you guys had issues with bread and gluten? Have also had sleep disturbances? Because I think there's an association there. I'm looking into it. Patchy says raw primal and sleeping on the floor really helped with that. Yeah. Luna DC, once I was dreaming about being on a beach, and I think I realized I was dreaming, and then I started asking God if the existence is real to give a sign, and then I got sleep paralysis. Huh. That was the devil coming in, stopping you from finding the light. I had a dream. Dreams are so weird, guys. I had a dream the other day that me and Michael Keaton, the actor, we were like plunging a sewer outside. It was like a big sewer hole. And like me and Michael Keaton were using a plunger and plunging a sewer. Isn't that strange? Eat raw meat. I once read that a sarcophagus was used for ascension. They gave you mushrooms and then you had to lay in the dark at sarcophagus to ascend your soul. Whoa. Jeez, dude. So was that for dead people, a sarcophagus, or did they put live people in there? Wow. Dark Side of the Bear. Hey guys, have an awesome night. It was cool talking to you and seeing you again. Till next time. All right, see you later. Take it easy. Heliana says, oh, and any symbolic items in your home can bring bad spirits. Interesting. What do you mean by symbolic items? Eat raw meat. I think the devil is a test from God. Well, he created him, for sure. Eat raw meat. To chill with God, you need to beat Satan first. Interesting. Yeah, maybe you're right about that. I think you are. Because I feel like I've definitely experienced hell in my life, guys. Like, you know. Maybe one of these days we'll get into that in one of these streams. But I like to keep things positive. I don't like to go into like personal shit. But I've been to hell and back for sure, guys. Horatio Washington, demons are real. Horror movies are demons that people in Hollywood contact in order to get such detail about them. Yeah. I was a big horror movie fan too. Interesting. Patchy says, lucid dreaming goes hand in hand with sleep paralysis. If you wake up too quickly in a lucid dream, you'll be paralyzed. Huh, that's weird. Interesting. Yeah, it does kind of make sense that a lucid dream is almost like you're awake in the dream, just like you're awake in sleep paralysis. Horatio Washington, did you eat the raw pork? Does it taste better than raw beef? About the same, honestly. It was pretty damn good. I ate just a couple chunks of it when we were chopping it up and slaughtering it or whatever. But I got it dry aging in my garage, so. Luna DC, you can only beat the devil with God, though. Yeah, isn't that right? Yeah. It's a quagmire. It's like a paradigm, or what do they call it? A paradox. Where God created the devil. You got to beat the devil to find God, but you need God to beat the devil. That's why, it just goes to prove that none of this stuff is linear. This stuff is circular. Everything in life is circular. Life is circular. That's something that psychedelics will teach you. It teaches you concepts in shapes and stuff like that. And that's exactly how it works, Luna. God created the devil as a test. You have to beat the devil to find God, but you need God to beat the devil. So it's not like a linear path. Nothing in life is linear. Like the whole linear, like you're born here, this is your life, it's a line, and you die here. That's all an illusion. Life is not a line. It's all a circle. It's really weird stuff. Eat raw meat. Gluten is nightmare fuel. Yes, that's a great way to put it, man. Yeah, I've had like violent dreams after eating like junk food. Violent stuff where I died and all sorts of crazy stuff. Snow Ass says, again, fear leads to anger, and anger leads to hate, and hate leads to murder, guys. That's a good one. Luna DCN, the best way to succeed the test is to make mistakes, to experience, to not hold back in life. Yeah, you gotta have no fear. You gotta just move forward, man. P. Miller, I had a dream that Aajonus planets repaired my car. I love that one. That's a good one. That's way better than my Michael Keaton dream. That's pretty symbolic, you know. He repaired your body, repaired your car. That's how dreams work usually, you know what I mean? Like you're probably thinking about how Aajonus' diet repairs your body, and then you just had a dream about a car, and that's so funny. Female had a piece of cake yesterday, and last night had a bit of night terror. Oh man, yeah. I think there's a link between gluten and nightmares, guys. Or maybe it's like the glyphosate on the gluten. I'm not 100% sure. Horatio watching ate chicken and gave me a huge pimple. Way too much omega-6. You think so? You think it's the omega-6s? Heliana says, good night, everyone. God bless you. Oh, bless you. Yeah, you too. I mean, I read that if you can't remember your dreams, you are mentally ill because you only live a third of a life. Whoa. Interesting. Wow. I think you're right about that, dude. Because I went a long time not remembering my dreams, especially when I smoked pot, guys. If you guys smoke pot and don't remember your dreams, get off that shit. Dreaming is so important. All right, guys. This has been another good stream, fellas and ladies. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm going to continue my evening here and possibly do another stream tomorrow for dinner. But you can definitely probably count on Saturday streams for sure. And maybe I'll try to squeeze another one in during the week here. This last week was just crazy. I couldn't really get anything done because we got all these like snowstorms and stuff, and so I would have to like get off of work, come home, and like shovel my 10-mile long driveway, and just I had no time to do shit. So, but yeah, I'm gonna try to stream maybe a little bit this week, so maybe you guys can catch me later on. But y'all take it easy, keep eating raw meat, and God bless everybody.